by Miller. Tutupu come through and got tackled off the kick there from Morris. Ball on the deck here inside 50, and they've got numbers as well. Going forward in the tackle was Tutupu again. Now the Tigers should come away, although Turner, the handball to Collier Dawkins, sold him. Managed to get rid of it. Tiger player got his arms free and gave it to Egmalessi Smith, who just threw it on the boot. Up towards the wing on the outer side. Coming and beelining the ball there was Coleman Jones. He gave it to a teammate who sent it up towards wing and half forward. Playing in front there, Ballard. Couldn't take it. It was well played there. I think that was the skipper Newman. Gave it to Ferreira. Ferreira's got Newman again here, who was tackled over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in just forward of the wing on the outer side for the Tigers.
Last week's game, Ferreira is one of the best for Frankston, and already he's got his hands on the ball. He's a real class off that half-back line for them.
Was given best on by one of our correspondents. I had 3 correspondents at that game. He ended up with the 2 votes, so a great day from him, and he's got a chance here again. He wins the football, Ferreira. Hand pass came out wide from Lockie Williams, and away they go through the agency of Styles. Kicks up towards half forward. Front spot, that almost won over the shoulder there for the Dolphins. Well roved by Turnbull, who kicks in towards the pocket. Chance here for Corey Rich. If anyone can do anything, it was him, but the boundary line is too close, and it's over for a throw-in.
Good ball movement there by Frankston off the half-back line. Moved it down there quick.
When they go, they can play. There's no question. It's only the errors that hurt them. They make mistakes and turn it over, and they get hurt on the spread very quickly. Boundary throw in deep forward for the Dolphins. Thump back towards the line by Tutupu, and it'll be over for another throw in.
Tutupu playing in the ruck here early on for Frankston. Kicked a few goals last week. Shem Tutupu. And here we go, deep in attack for the Dolphins. This is their second foray forward. Can they work something out? We've got a delay on the throw in here, and here we go. So into the ruck for the Tigers was Soldo, who palmed it down to Miller, whose handball went straight to the deck. And Darcy has sharked a shot on goal, but back on the line for the Tigers. Taking the mark and getting rid of it quickly was Beasley. The Tigers will move it up the outer side. Wrestling there was Williams and a Tigers player. Williams has taken the mark. Wonderful mark. Went to spoil first and then thought, no, bugger it, I can take that. And Williams will send the Dolphins back into attack. They've got all the momentum here, the Dolphins, and a good mark taken, and it's that man again, Riley Darcy. What a start here for the Dolphins, and the home crowd like it. And Darcy will go back to kick the first goal of the afternoon from only 25 out on the slightest of angles. This is what Frankston have to do. He has to kick this. They've got to get off to a good start. And when we were here in round 1, they didn't have much to cheer about, the Dolphins fans, but this is a young boy who did play well, Riley Darcy, for the first goal of the afternoon. It's big Ivan Soldo who stands the mark. Darcy skips in for the perfect start for the Dolphins, and there's nothing wrong with that. Straight through the big sticks, and Frankston are away. They have the start they wanted. We've played 3.5 minutes, and Riley Darcy is the first goal scorer of the afternoon. Frankston moved to 1 straight 6. Richmond yet to score. That's the start they wanted.
Yeah, he looks all right, the young man from Rowville. 7 goals now in his 5th game in a team that's on the bottom of the ladder, so he goes all right, Paul.
He plays taller than he looks, doesn't he?
Yep, and he's a good finisher.
Absolutely. No, good on him. That's a great start for Frankston.
Just what the Dollies needed, that's for sure. And I've been told they actually don't like that, so we'll call them the Dolphins. It is a term of endearment, though. The Frankston Football Club. Off to a good start here at Frankston Park at Skybar Stadium. The umpires today, Michael Curtis, Ben Cheever and Michael Pell. The footy goes into the turf, and Soldo won the tap down. Caught as soon as he grabbed it was Fordham. Ripped out of his possession eventually. Here go the Tigers. Hand pass out in front of Thompson. He got dispossessed. Little ball out wide. Hack clear for Frankston by Williams. Good mark. Styles in the middle of traffic. Angus Styles, the former Swan. He'll go with the switch. They're hot on this game plan. Newman takes the footy onto the left. Goes out to Gordon, who has it on the wing. Chips. It's not a good kick, but hiding on the sideline will get away with it is Rich. Little hand pass wide. Mullane over the top. Here's the chance for Locke. Steps around one and got caught by the second one. Too many Tigers around for Goy Locke. Yep. And a free kick will be taken here by Silvestro.
On the half-back line, Silvestro. It was unlucky from Locke. He got a leg to it, but it was above the knee, so the umpire had no choice but to ping him for holding the ball. Silvestro's looking for Soldo in the middle of the pack. It's off hands. Newman has it. They've kept it in play here, although the Tiger player got it and tried to get a kick away. He was tackled off it. And now almost getting tackled into the construction area there was big Callum Coleman-Jones for the Tigers.
Silvestro is one of those guys you wouldn't want to see in a lane on a late night. He's the long hair and the big mo.
Yeah, we think he's a bit of a bikie, do you think? Out of the contest, here go the Tigers. Thompson kicks up towards half forward as a Grewer, I think, but a great mark front spot here for Frankston by Hiscock. Plays on short, dangerous, had to be precise, and 50? That'll be 50 against Morris.
Yep.
He tried to stop. He did try to stop, but he couldn't in time. Styles, who took a good mark in between 4 Tigers, gets right up to the half-forward line now. Angus Styles, too far out to score here. The lead came from ZJ, who was ignored his call to play on. Morris almost got him from behind, and that created the turnover. Soldo in the way and takes the mark in the last line of defence. Gives it off to Egmalesi Smith. And they're out of trouble now as Grewer marks at half-back.
Grewer marked in front of Kingsbury, and what have we got here? The umpire's getting over there.
He's telling Morris to get out of the way.
Yep. So Grewer will bring it up this broadcast side. He's got Callum Coleman-Jones here opposed to Max Williams. They will wrestle. Arts flew in from the side. Couldn't take the mark, and they're going to mop up again here, Frankston. Gordon, the skipper, goes with a long switch. It's a wonderful kick, and that will work. This is Woodman on the outer side. He'll go up towards half-forward line. That's not a great kick out in front of Locke. And Caulfield will get there and watch it go out of bounds just inside 50 for Frankston. But it's one-way traffic here early on. We're ticking up towards 7 minutes. Still Frankston leading one straight. Richmond yet to score.
You can see the way Frankston are playing here. Win the ball and look straight away for the switch.
It's the way they play it, but it's got to be accurate. If they miss a target, it'll cost them a goal every time, and that's what happened against Essendon back in round 1. Hopefully they're pulling it off a little bit better now as Soldo just goes thump. Found 30 metres around the boundary line. Silvestro can't keep it in. And we'll get another boundary throw in.
Oleg Markov running down the boundary in front of us. I'm a bit disappointed he shaved that mo off.
It'll make it harder to pick. Just look for all the ink. He's well painted, isn't he?
He is. That mo was very distinctive, but
if he was painted anymore, you'd think he was a Collingwood player.
Well, you think
ball to ground level. Then there's Dusty. Great mark, Morris, just inside defensive 50, and here comes the switch for the Tigers. Egmalesi Smith off to the races. He'll run onto the football, size it up, and kick just well enough to Grewer, who made it work. Back to Egmalesi Smith by hand. Over the top, he goes short, finds the leading player in Collier Dawkins. Forced to hold it up now. Riley Collier-Dawkins plays on, drives towards centre-half forward. Frankston with the numbers here. Big shove. Umpire missed it. Should have been a Frankston free. Chol, he's caught. Got a hand pass away just in time. Oh. Bang, solid hit. Townsend bounced off. Gave the hand pass up. Nashel snap on goal. Brilliant stuff, Jacob Townsend.
Great goal from the Tigers, but very unlucky. Frankston, Coleman-Jones gave for the...
Max Williams should have got a free kick for sure.
Massive shove in the back, but tough by Townsend to get that ball out to Nash, wasn't it?
Clever handball.
Just bounced off, didn't he, Townsend?
When Richmond first recruited him, they recruited him as a hard midfielder, tagger sort of player, and it didn't seem to work. And, of course, when they won the premiership in 2016, it was the Cinderella story. He came in right near the end of the year as a goal-kicking forward.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he hadn't really played a whole lot of footy at the AFL level before that, and he hasn't really played a whole lot since that. No. So he just got hot at the right time, didn't he? Much
he
like
did.
The
Injuries
themselves.
Injuries did get him last year, though.
Yep.
13 minutes final quarter. Footscray 11-11-77. Box Hill 11-10-76.
Ball back into the middle. It's one goal apiece. It's young James Rendell into the ruck, and Coleman-Jones for the Tigers. Coleman-Jones palmed it down. Getting bumped off it there was Weller for the Tigers. He might find the handball here, though. No. Ferrero goes and wins it. Weller had him. Ferrero, the tackle didn't quite stick. Now Fordham got a kick on it. Up towards Lockett, centre-half forward, but getting there first pouncing on it was Arts. Now the Tigers can go. The goal kicker, Nash, sold some candy and gave it back to Arts. Ferreira's got him. That caused the turnover. Styles gave it to the ruckman in Randell, who turned it straight back over. And now the Tigers can go up this near wing. That's a good kick from Aish. It's over the head of Manor. He ran onto it. He's got Williams trying to close him down. That kick's gone on the head of Grewer, who did well in the end to get rid of the footy. Williams now over it. He's jumped on by the first game of Street for the Tigers. The umpire comes in and says, I'll ball it up about 70 out from Richmond's goal.
Ferreira again with his pressure caused that turnover for the Tigers. He's pure class off that half-back line.
The ball up right in front of our broadcast position. Coleman-Jones won it down. Silvestro tried to rip it out. Ferreira was the one who did. Now a chance for Silvestro, who looks like he's being held. Brewer might have got a push. Ferreira, hand pass out the back. Williams caught. Lockie Williams gone. Was it prior opportunity?
I think it was incorrect disposal.
Incorrect disposal, you could pay for sure.
Lockie Street, first gamer.
The first gamer with his first kick has a chance to, well, make them come from everywhere as they do. He'll kick from about 47 metres out on a 45-degree angle. We've got a perfect view behind this one. He's played a lot of football here, I'd imagine, as a Frankston YCW player. And it's a helicopter kick. And look at the wind grab that at the last minute. Big fist to ground came from Miller. Still a chance here for the Dolphins. A scrubber of a kick out of there from Rendell. Picked up by Locke. Handball over the top will be chopped off by Caulfield. Pressure's building now. Egmalesi Smith tried to run through the middle. Couldn't do so. Rich caught. Well, that was a really nice tackle. Eventually cleared by Newman up towards the wing. It'll come back, or will it? Beasley. Good work there by Tatupu to make the spoil and see it over the line for a throw-in.
Lachlan Street, when he was lining up for goal there, he was just all over the place, wasn't he, of his run-up? I don't know whether it was nerves or...
I wasn't sure what foot he was going to kick it with in that run-up. Bizarre. But boundary throw-in right on centre wing. On the outer side, Coleman Jones and Rendell. Coleman Jones palmed it down. Going and winning the footy was Manor. He can go onto that right boot and send it back up towards Townsend, who's got a couple to beat. Oh, and he's brought it to ground. We've got a free kick in that marking contest, and it's going to big Jimmy Miller.
Frankston supporters getting into your favourite boundary umpire over there. All
right. I want to meet that bloke.
Miller's short little kick here finds Williams. Williams just getting back off the mark. He's going to come up towards the corridor here. Fordham, that was a hot kick. Fordham took the mark. And Fordham's going to go back here to Williams, who's got space to run into. He sends it inside footy. Great movement by the Dolphins. Egmalesi Smith couldn't take the mark. Now they've got numbers here, Frankston. Goy Locke, has he seen a player out in the pocket? He has. The kick will get there. It's in the long sleeves of Zijai, who's dribbled one towards a teammate who managed to get it on the boot and kick another one. Frankston have two. And the goal kicker that time, I think that might have been Corey Rich. It was. So Frankston with the first two this afternoon. 2 straight 12. Richmond, 1 goal.
Fantastic goal. But Egmalesi Smith did the fatal backline mistake. If you're going to go for the mark, you got to keep your feet. He didn't take the mark, went on the ground, let his man pick up the ball, take it away. 50
VFL goals for Corey Rich in game number 29. So he had 34 or 35 last year, a very good season for him. It's only his 4th for the year. So it's taken him a while to get to that milestone. Onwards and upwards from here, potentially. Around the grounds, it is 12-11-83, each of 2 between the Hawks and the Bulldogs at the MCG. 17 gone in the last quarter. 11 gone in the first quarter at Victoria Park. Sandringham lead Collingwood 1-0.
Just noticed they had the scoreboard wrong. They had Richmond 2 goals there. They've fixed it up now.
Come on, Robbo. You don't want to help them along the way. Out came the footy from the centre.
He put it on the wrong team. It's 4 fixed now.
He's probably used to it, unfortunately. That's sad. The Frankston going great guns at the moment. 2-1. They are up and about the Dolphins. As Rendell just got worked out of there by Coleman Jones. Chol, hand pass out wide to nobody in particular. Backing back there was Turner. He got it across to Thompson. Kicks inside 50. Max Williams got in front of Soldo and thumped it over the line for a throw-in.
The Frankston backline's doing the right thing here. They are all playing in front every time it's come in.
And that's where they've got to be, especially against these big guys, Chol and Soldo down there. You won't be able to reach over them. Throw in. Coleman Jones won it down. Newman grabbed without it. Trying to step through was Bailey. Got wrapped up. And no prior opportunity there. In fact, that was Cody Wilson. And we'll have a ball up right on forward 50 for Richmond.
The Tigers still lead by that 1 goal. Palming it away there, Coleman Jones, but straight to Grace. Grace's kick was smothered. Ballard's onto it, got through the tackle, got a handball away. Clever tap from Thompson to Street, who was taken too high. The umpire's seen it, so Lockie Street will be able to go back and have another go here.
Oh, he might lose this here, Marby or Chol.
Soldo's in there as well, getting a bit upset.
But there was 3, I reckon there was 3 jumper punches there.
Oh, Street's going to pass this off. He's got a teammate in the goal square.
No.
The defender come in and got a fist on it. Lockie Street.
Back yourself, young fella. Back yourself.
Jimmy Miller, well done. He was the one who gave away the free kick. Marby or Chol gave him a couple of little short arms. And then he recovered quickly and managed to knock the ball away from the forward.
He's then taken out of the ruck here to Tupu, throws it on the boot. Yarnstrom going back courageously. Oh, might have just pulled out at the last minute.
I think he did.
Here's Manor. He's got Egmalesi Smith. He goes inboard to Turner, who went up into the air and got the footy and then got crunched by Mullane. Mullane now got the footy back and he gives it to Fordham, and here they go. Lock's out here. Fordham had a bounce. His kick might sit up for Lock over his head. Can he get onto it? It's goalward bound. It's bounced through for a goal, has it? No, just missed.
Post.
Into the post.
Great play.
Yeah, breakneck speed through the corridor for Frankston, and the home crowd is into this game. What a start.
Fantastic. When they move the ball quick, Frankston, they look good.
They're going to get another kick here because the Tigers have kicked it out on the full, and this will be Riley Darcy to send them back inside 50.
Too far out to score, you'd think, from there, Darcy. He drives it towards the danger position. Big pack to fly. Ball brought to ground nicely. That was by Taylor Grace, who doesn't get up forward very often. Ball heads towards the line, and eventually it's seen out by James Fletcher.
I think Markov might have an injury problem here. We haven't seen him, and he's jogging up and down here on the boundary line.
Unless he's just on restricted minutes and he's warming up, not coming on until the
quite
second
possibly.
quarter, maybe.
Yep.
So boundary throw in, deep forward for the Dolphins. They lead by a kick. One down by Soldo. Well trapped there by Fordham. Flicked it over the top. Wasn't sure whether it was legal either, Elvo. Caught was Manor, dispossessed. Still a chance here. Darcy in from the side. Morris dragged it in, then managed to get it out. Quick snap out of the pack.
Touched.
That's a goal, is it?
Touched
off the boot. Wilson. He was claiming it, Cody Wilson. But a behind is all he gets. 2-2-14, Frankston. Richmond 1 straight 6. We played 17 minutes first quarter.
And the kick in from Egmalesi Smith's gone straight up the middle of the ground, and Soldo's clunked one at centre-half back. So can they play a bit of slingshot footy? Here's Collier Dawkins up towards half forward, and Brewer's going to go over there and run onto it. Chol will get there first. A good take. Tried to get the handball back to Brewer and found him just outside 50. Now a handball to Weller. Weller might give it back. Oh, his teammates left it behind. But in there was Beasley. It's going to come to Brewer. His kick was smothered. Now here's Manor, who can go around the body, and the Tigers do go coast to coast. It was sloppy inside 50, but Sean Manor found some space. And the Tigers pull one back. They're back to within 2 points. 2-2-14, Frankston. Richmond accurate so far, 2 straight 12.
Chol can look so awkward sometimes, but you love that rawness, how he just took the game on then, just ran straight at the football. He's clever around goal, Manor, isn't he? As you said, he kicked, 8 goals or something last week?
He has had an 8, I think, this year for Lamington. If Sean Manor's got the ball inside 50, you almost pull out the pen and write it down.
He's clever, isn't he?
He's very, very good, and he would have to be, well, unless they've been hiding him ahead of the mid-season draft, I don't know. He can't be that far away. I don't think. The form that he's been in the Ovens and Murray League has been outstanding.
He's still only 21.
Yep, plenty of time. Seen him kick some unbelievable goals up there too a couple of years ago as a young guy. So back in the centre. It's still 83 apiece at the MCG. We'll keep you right across that one. As the ball came out the back, left behind there by Mullane, picked up by Soldo but dispossessed. And we'll get another ball up. Sandringham with the first goal against Collingwood. They're 1-2-8 to no score. Sam Rowe kicking that at Victoria Park. Soldo won it down. Dropped it looking for the free kick was Turner. Weller, he tried to bustle through and couldn't do so. Caught with the football there. Solid tackle on Collier Dawkins, but he got it out nicely to Townsend, who kicked it over the head of Ballard. Williams is back there. Lockie got it off to Hiscock. Send it out wide to the wing. Naish jumps high, couldn't take the mark. Hand pass back to Miller. Back into Naish. He's going to be gone. Was that prior opportunity on the short handball? Doesn't matter. Play on was the call. Flying shot on goal for the Tigers. Ball brought to ground. Chol does the roving. Mabior Chol can do it all. And that's a goal to Richmond, and they're in front here at Frankston Park. 3 straight 18, the Tigers. Dolphins 2-2-14, 19 and a half first quarter.
Speaking of haircuts, I love Chol's. That is a what would you call that? A reddish goldish mohawk. Magnificent. If I had hair, I'd have that as well.
It's the side. No. I thought you were having cotter on the boundary.
I'd have either of them, mate. I'd just have any hair, to be honest.
You'd have cotters on the boundary with that streak through it.
Yeah, that'll do.
There you go. Billy would be taking photos of that.
Just a very quick question of Jonty. When a guy is running down the ground and running into the forward line, he's still got another 20, 30 metres. Do you reckon he should have a bounce and keep running, or look for the pass? Because when you miss the
talking about Fordham's.
Yeah, Townsend. Because when you miss the target, it doesn't work. I reckon.
I don't mind it. He looked for the target. His skill should have been able to pull that pass off.
Townsend's come through here and won the clearance for the Tigers. He gave it to Naish, sent it up towards half forward, and Thompson's done well to get ahead of Newman there and take the mark. So another inside 50 here beckons for the Tigers. Thompson sits it up. Ballard's going to get here from the back. He flew high. Ball didn't quite get there. It was off hands. Now it's on the deck. They'll want to lock this in, Frankston. Ballard's still in there. Now Tigers player thrown to ground. A handball's gone forward and Ballard's run onto it. Got rid of it, not too sure how. His body's going everywhere in there. Now Ferreira's onto it. Oh, he nearly got taken high there by Townsend. Now another Richmond player's had his head taken off. Play on, said the umpire. Grace gave it to a teammate who threw it on the boot. That's not a good kick, though. It's over the head of Bo Bailey, and Egg Smith takes the mark. Short kick up towards Weller. Who dropped the mark? The umpire had blown the whistle. Then he was forced to play on. Morris spun out of trouble. Kick inside 50. Low down there. That was Soldo. He was never going to take that mark. Now over it here for the Tigers. I think that might have been Weller in there. Townsend throwing his body in there. Going again for Richmond. That was actually Naish. Tried to get the handball to Arts. Dropped it. Lucky not to be pinged. Now we've got a big tackle inside 50 and we'll get a ball up. That was Soldo on Lockie Williams.
Good tough footy in there, guys. My thing is, Jonty, that if you've got the ball and you've still got space to run, you just keep running, unless the bloke's 20 metres in the clear.
I don't mind that call either. But if he burned him and then ran in and kicked a point, what would you say? Oh. Here's Morris from 45 metres out and straight through the middle.
You don't kick too many.
No.
Stevie Morris. Just his 8th VFL goal in game 39. That's that for you. And all of a sudden, the Tigers have kicked a couple of quick ones and taken a good lead. 4 straight 24. Frankston 2-2-14 after 22 minutes.
He picked that up like he'd been playing forward all his life and just had a look and went bang.
Was he a forward very early on as a young man before he went sent back?
He was playing halfback when he first was playing at Richmond AFL, and then he had a bit of a form slump, and they did try him up half forward, but his kicking did let him down. He won the ball quite a lot, but he just couldn't finish it.
It's a good response from the Tigers. 4 straight goals. They lead by 10 points. What have Frankston got in them? Rendell back into the ruck. They've been chopping and changing the ruckman early on here at the centre. It's been to Tupu and Rendell and
Miller.
Now it's and Miller as well. Weller took all day to get rid of that play on, said the umpire. Ball come to Caulfield, who gave it to Ballard off the back of the square. It's a good handball to find Turner. Weller on centre wing, outer side. He's going to kick up towards the half-forward line. Inside 50, Chol from the back. Couldn't get into that contest. Now onto it is Arts. Threw it on the left, and there's another one for the Tigers. Got a good bounce. And Jake Arts, we spoke about it before the game. He's not that far away from getting a senior call-up. And pounced on it, on the wrong foot as well, on the left foot for Jake Arts. And the Tigers in a flash, they've got 5 straight.
Elvo, that's the difference in quality, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Frankston have played really, really well for the first 15 minutes. A bit of a how do you do goes on in the Richmond forward line. Had themselves a lead by 8 points, and then just in the blink of an eye, and Frankston's done absolutely nothing wrong. There's been 4 goals in about 6 minutes.
Absolutely. You're right. The spot on the class, the difference in players here. There's been a lot of talk that Arts would be debuting maybe this week. Eva, tell you what, if he has another good game, a big chance next week, the same as Naish.
Jack Madgen with Collingwood's first goal. They're 1-2-8 apiece. Half-time at Marvel Stadium. Geelong 8-3-51. North Melbourne 4-8-32. And it's 12-12 apiece. Still locked up Box Hill and Footscray.
Oh, jeez. What was that?
I didn't see that. Pretty ordinary bounce, I'm gathering.
One of the worst you've ever seen. It was lucky to get a foot off the ground.
Okay, so that gives me time to say that's 27 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter as we get a dial tone in the headset. Hopefully all's good here. As the ball came out to Naish on the wing. He kicks towards half forward. Mark was dropped by Coleman Jones. Wilson swept through. Newman up towards half forward. Thumped away to ground by Miller. Locke picks it up. Has to get rid of it quickly. Dumps it up towards half forward. Rich reaches over the top. Brought the ball to ground. Diving in there was ZJ. Can he get the football out? No, to Tupu. He did illegally, I think.
Yeah, just let it go.
Thought it was a handball, actually, but the umpire's closer to that than me. Short pass quickly from the Tigers. It's not a good one. Straight through goes Hiscock, but he fumbled twice, and that gave the Tigers a chance to get in there again. And this isn't coming out. Stevie Morris keeps slapping it back in there, and eventually he ripped it out somehow. How did Morris do that when he was trying to keep it in? Coleman Jones gets a free kick for a hand over the shoulder, flips the hand pass out wide to a stationary Naish, who has to kick quickly. Weller right in front of the broadcast position. Manages to get around Williams, kicks inside 50, Lux a fortune, called touched off the boot.
Okay.
Arts took the mark, but the umpire was very quick to say that Lockie Williams got a hand on it.
Richmond made the error through the middle then. Number one rule, if you're going to play through the middle, you've got to hit the target. You don't put it at their shoestrings.
Inside 50 here, the Tigers. Soldo palmed it down to Arts, who lost the footy. Players cracking in there again. It's spilt out here to the first game of Street. Left foot kick back up towards full forward, but taking a good mark there, back there for Frankston. That was Max Williams. Just holding up well back there for the time being. Frankston. Williams in the goal square, called to play on. He will send his kick up towards the outer side. Sat it on his teammate's head. Miller got a hand to it. Couldn't take the mark. Backing out of that one was Egmalesi Smith, and then gave the handball straight to Mullane, who is escorted over the boundary line by Miller. We'll get a boundary throw in 70 around or so for the Tigers' goal. They lead late in the first quarter by 16 points.
They need to get a goal here, Frankston.
And Billy's old ring-a-ding-dinger. It's a draw at the MCG. Box Hill Hawks 12-12-84. Footscray 12-12-84. The first ever draw between those two teams.
What happens there with the tips, Johnny? Do we all get a tip there?
Silvestro kicks up towards full forward. I'll answer that in a second. Max Williams dropped the mark and then fed a hand pass out wide. Taken by Miller, went off the ground. Styles picked up the football, got it in a 1-2 with Mullane. Great hand pass over to Rich. Sizes up his options, kicks down towards half forward. ZJ's the target. He drops the chest mark but picks up the loose ball. Hand pass over the top. Here's the chance. Bailey runs to 45, sets sail for home. Great football, Dolphins.
Wow.
Terrific stuff from Frankston, and Bo Bailey's on the end of it.
That's when Frankston look good, isn't it? Just no mucking around. Get it, run, kick it long, go direct. Well done.
First goal of the season for Bo Bailey, and what a beauty that was. Great football right from end to end. Starting down here with Jimmy Miller's little toe poke, but a great pickup from Angus Styles.
Absolutely.
3-2, sorry, Elvo, we should check the score for those listening at home. Frankston 3-2-20, Richmond 5 straight 30, and that is... Come on, Robbo, flick the scoreboard back so we can tell you how long there's gone. It's about the 27.5, nearly 28-minute mark of the final quarter. Thanks very much, mate.
If Frankston can have a quick goal here.
First quarter. Did I say last quarter? I've almost said last quarter 4 times. There's 50 cents.
More than 50 cents.
The ball back into the middle here. It's Fordham laying a big tackle on the Richmond player in there. That was Ballard. And we'll get a secondary ball up.
We should get a collection tin for the Casey Radio commentary group.
We'll have a pretty good footy trip at the end of the year with the amount of times we call the Casey Demons.
These up, I was going to look at a charity.
A free kick in that secondary ball up to Soldo, who's got a man running around the back, and it's Naish, and he'll use him every day of the week. Naish up towards Chol on the half-forward line, off the hands from Miller. Chol's won the footy.
Tackle.
He's gone straight into the tackle there from Kingsbury, and it was a strong tackle. Chol wasn't going to get out of that one, and we'll get a ball up.
The Frankston are having a red-hot crack here. It's really, really good to see.
There's some heat in the contest, isn't there? Ball up on the half-forward line. Soldo, again, palmed it down. It's off hands. Collier Dawkins couldn't take it. Now it's Silvestro's turn to lay a tackle on Fordham that time. The ball up right on the attacking edge of the centre square for the Tigers. Soldo and Rendell. Again, Rendell palms it down this time. Ballard eventually will take it. Here's Silvestro, goes back by hand. Thompson, his kick was smothered by Locke, and Locke went and won the footy. No, he didn't. Spilled out here, Ballard. Got a handball back to Thompson, who couldn't gather it. Spinning through there for Frankston. That was Turnbull. Now Locke through the middle of the ground. Got a handball away. That was well done there by Miller to apply the pressure. Now keeps it in front of himself. It's gone back up towards centre half forward. Miller throws himself in there again for the Tigers. Then stood up in the tackle. Now Collier Dawkins tries to get free. Got the handball to Arts. Clever tap to Ballard, but Ballard didn't take the footy. Now it's come back here to Arts. It's a good pick-up. Throws it on the boot inside 15. He's got a teammate standing under it who takes the mark, Charlie Thompson.
Lux a fortune.
And that was typical Richmond footy, wasn't it? They just kept moving it forward. They got a hat kick out of there. And it went straight to a teammate, Thompson, who will line up from 35 out directly in front.
Frankston are awfully unlucky. Is that the siren?
No, it's a bit of a sailor, isn't it? Didn't know they still exist. I thought they burnt all those after the South African Soccer World Cup.
Weren't they terrible?
Oh, wow.
So Charlie Thompson, just for 6 straight goals in this opening quarter. He kicks from 40. He's put it out to the left. It's gone a long way left, and it's off hands and still in the field of play. Arts from the boundary line. Got the kick across the face of goal. Now it's all Frankston.
Fordham gets a hand pass over the top to Gordon. Did it well. Newman had to get rid of it quickly. Hand pass over the top quick from
That's
Rich.
holding the man.
Yeah, the umpire's paid it.
Just off where I was looking. It's a free kick to Frankston, is it?
It's Fordham, yep.
Will Fordham to take it. And he's quite sore getting up off the ground, having been dumped.
Might have gone into the fence, I reckon, over there, into the bricks.
There's a fair lump of concrete below the fence over in front of the Dolphins change rooms. Short pass from Fordham finds Hiscock. And he holds it up inside defensive 50. This has been a fantastic first quarter from both teams. We've really enjoyed this. A short pass from Hiscock will be brought back in there by Fordham, and now running away from half back there is Kingsbury. He goes up towards the wing. Jarnstrom gets rid of his man, runs away from Brewer. They're on here. The kick's not a good one from Jarnstrom towards forward 50. Picked up for the Tigers. Alfie tries to make up for it. There's a trip. Umpire says no to Coleman Jones, and eventually comes in and calls for a ball up.
Had two Frankston guys left and right on their own, and he miskicked it straight in the middle to the Richmond guy.
So ball up right on forward 50. True centre-half forward position for Frankston. We've gone nearly 32 minutes in this first quarter. Expect a long term. Kick out towards the middle of the ground. Chol in the battle with Gordon. Picked up by Kingsbury. Fed a little hand pass through and then got unloaded by Brewer. Turnover time again. Styles bombs inside 50. Siren beats them. What a fantastic start to this game here at Frankston Park at Skybar State. I'm Brendan Rhodes. He's Paul Elvish, and this is Brent Sternberg.
So it is Shem to Tupu into the ruck, and wow.
Is that the same umpire?
Yeah.
So that's two. That's two for him.
Is he allowed three?
We believe after the third one, they have to call ball up for the rest of the day.
Oh, okey-dokey.
For all of them?
No, 3 per umpire, 6 in total, we're told.
Slap forward there by Soldo. Townsend overran it. Ferreira. Oh, he might be in a bit of trouble there, Ferreira.
Yeah. Double tackled.
Just had a chance to get rid of it. The umpire come in and said holding the ball.
Was it Townsend and Soldo, wasn't it?
So Soldo moved it on quickly to Weller. Weller sent a high kick inside 50. Players get over there. It's off hands. And it went out of bounds. Deep in attack for the Tigers.
Push in the back. Free kick to Frankston.
Jimmy Miller, I believe.
It is Jimmy Miller who'll take the free kick against Marby or Chol. So in the last line of defence at the Cars Street end of the ground. He's looking straight into the sun over the bay. And he drives it long down the Brian Mace grandstand wing. Should be a free kick to Soldo there for a hold. Big fly almost brought the ball down. Was that Coleman Jones flying? Last man up. No, it was Jacob Townsend who was right over the top. Umpire put it up in the air again. Soldo with the tap. Doesn't clear the zone. Eventually ripped out of there by Collier Dawkins, who kicks inside 50. Strong hands from Coleman Jones. Miller just got the spoil in. Brought the ball to ground. Tumble kick towards the goal. Stepping around one was Max Williams. He handballed into open space. Jarnstrom was tackled as he picked it up and handballed it straight over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Patrick Nash, 11 disposals that quarter, the highest amount on the ground. The next best is 8. He gets a lot of disposals, Nash, without you realising.
Seems to rack them up, doesn't he? Must be in and under a lot of those. Quick snap around the corner from Tutupu to get it out of the zone. It might come back because Morris takes the mark just outside forward 50 in front of Locke. Holds it up. There's a lot of players back. He kicks towards the danger position at the top of the goal.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Callum Coleman Jones with a hanger.
That. A lot of the time when you see guys fly for the mark, they're actually marking it on the way down. He's actually marked that when he was high in the air.
At its highest
so
point.
that is one of the best marks I've seen ever.
Where are the cameramen? I hope they see
Get that one online.
My goodness.
Get that one in your top 5. That's number 1, Mr. Stengers.
He's got to kick the goal
Coleman
to finish
Jones bangs it home. And that is the highlight of the game so far.
My goodness. I haven't seen someone get up that high.
How about that, Owen?
Right.
It was a pack of about 8 players there, and they all looked like they were a chance, and then just this big yellow streak just rose out of the middle of them.
He's obviously got the right on someone's back, but I want to know, why did they can the footy show this week? Bring back almost football legends. That would have won.
You know who
that would have won
had a bit
someone
of?
a car.
You know who that had a bit of, Elvo?
Oh, Roachy?
Had a bit of Michael Roachy.
Bit of Roachy?
Yeah.
Just rose out of the pack.
Oh, my goodness.
Richmond 6 straight 36. Frankston 3-2 20. 3 minutes gone, second quarter.
Oh, I know there's a lot of Richmond supporters listening. Oh, we're not just saying this. That's one of the best marks you'll ever see. That was amazing.
An absolute hang from Callum Coleman-Jones. Back into the middle here. Soldo into Tupu. Let's watch this bounce. No, that's all right. And the crowd let him know about it as well. No, that was all right. And going into the tackle there.
You know, you see people jump up for a mark and they get on the way down or they've hit the ground a mark. That when it's at its highest point and they've got the grab. And it was a one grab. It wasn't a two grabber. It was just clean hands.
Off hands here. Here's Ferreira. He gave the handball to a teammate. That was Jarnstrom who sent it inside 50. Egmalesi Smith kept it in front, then palmed it away, but missed his teammate. Back inside 50 they go. That was by Rich. And they've got a player waiting for it. Here's EJ. Just wouldn't quite set up for him. Now here's Bailey who gave the handball back to Gordon who squeezed the kick inside 50. And Egmalesi Smith did take that mark. It was a disappointing kick because he did have numbers there. Now they've hung it out here. Jarnstrom coming from the side. That wasn't a great kick. Now the tackle on the Richmond player. They want holding the ball. The hometown fans, they don't get it. Well done again there, Jarnstrom. Little toe poke. Now it's going to come here to Bailey, who's got a teammate. ZJ took the mark. He's kept it in. He's going to go round on the left. He's skied that one up towards the square. The mark will be paid, I reckon. It's off hands. Oh, now pouncing on it and running it into a tackle there was the Frankston player. I thought he might have had his head taken off.
I thought I saw a Richmond boot come up towards his head as well.
The head went down to burrow through, so I got no problem with any of those. So ball up to me is the right call at the top of the goal square. One down by Soldo. Snap. ZJ across the face, and it'll bounce over the line for a throw in.
He's a live wire.
He is a good player, Yulba ZJ. Only no games last year. Only managed to get a handful for Casey the year before when the Demons were strong. Came back to Frankston last season. As it's taken out of the ruck by Tutupu. Hand pass out to Rich, who has a flying shot and misses to the near side.
Obviously, there's no rule.
Well, that was holding the ball last year, but they've changed that rule now. You are allowed to take it out of the ruck these days.
Yes. You obviously no rule here at the Frankston Football Club about the long sleeves. Bit of debate going on around
whether you should wear them or
not. I don't have a problem with it, but
so some of the old school guys used to think the number of long sleeves were a great mark taken there for the Dolphins. That's by Miller. We'll get back to that one in a minute, Elvo, because Jimmy Miller has it, 70 metres out from goal. Sets a helicopter inside 50. He'll turn it over, and the mark will be taken by Miller.
It's a game of turnover here just at the moment. Tigers who lead by 15 points.
The number of long sleeve Guernseys directly correlated to your chances of winning the game, they used to say.
Okay.
Arts onto it here for the Tigers on centre wing. Kick back into the corridor. Soldo. He's got some teammates here. He didn't want to go by hand. Now he goes by foot to the skipper in Morris. So Morris has it back into the centre. He's still got players running for him here, Morris. He's taken all of his time, and now he's got a player on here the outer side. He had two of them. He went over the head of Turner and found Markov. This might be his first possession, Markov. I can't recall saying his name.
Didn't play the first quarter, of course.
Markov, he's a long kick. He sends a long one inside 50. Coleman-Jones is there again through his hands. Roved here by Thompson, who just ran into the open goal. And that's as easy as you like. So the Tigers have 7 straight. They'll move to 7 goals, 42. And they extend that lead out now to 21 points. Frankston trailing 3-3-21.
When that ball hit the ground, there was 4 Richmond players to 1 Frankston guy. So I'm not too sure where all the Frankston defenders were there, but they just made it too easy for Richmond there.
I think they were up in the air trying to stop Coleman-Jones and his amazing hands.
Going back to the long sleeves, of course, Brad Hardy used to wear them for personal reasons. He had some terrible burns on his arms.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he used to wear them.
Yeah.
Or was it a cold weather thing or anything like that?
So Aliir's actually rocked them the last couple of weeks.
Matty Knights used to wear them a fair bit.
Yeah, he did. So I'll have a ball up back in the centre. A 21-point lead to Richmond. It's hard to believe that they're 21 points in front. The game has been very even, but they're just not missing the Tigers, are
7
they?
straight.
And that will be a recall.
I think that's it for him.
That's a different umpire. It's a different umpire
Is it?
this time.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 4 is the one who's on 2 here in front of us. So the umpire, and this time
free kick
it's a
to Frankston.
it'll be a 6-6-6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it's a warning.
5. A warning. It's a warning against Frankston, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they are both there. But Locke and Markov came running out of the 50 before the umpire threw it off.
Okay, so Locke must have come out first.
Locke was in front.
Gotcha.
So it's a warning on Frankston. And that's what the supporters don't like it too much either, as you heard in the background, as Mav Weller takes it out of the middle, gave a hand pass over the top, and then gets it back from Naish. Little hand pass through towards half forward, picked up nicely there by Turner. Clever little toe poke through. Here's a chance for Manor. Write it down for a point.
Got him. Yeah, you are a shocker. And that's Richmond's first point, and it's all your fault, Johnson.
Drag him. Yeah. Richmond 7-1-43. Frankston 3-3-21 after 9 minutes of the second term.
Deserved a goal too. That was a really clever toe poke from Naish, who almost took that mark in the pack. Now they might be able to rebound off half-back forward, and I'm not too sure what he saw there. Kick to the outer side. Wouldn't quite set up for Turner. Woodman's in there. Now it will sit for Turner, and he's got Markov. Markov sends the Tigers into the pocket. Chol is there.
Shove in the back.
Ran over his head. Townsend couldn't gather it. Silvestro might run out of time and space here in the left forward pocket. He does. The Tigers are back into attack, and they'll have a ball in.
The Frankston supporters certainly thought that was a shove in the back.
They like having their voices heard, don't they, the Frankston fans down here at Skybus Stadium. Umpire throws it in. Soldo and Randall have got to run a long way to get it. Randall palmed it out to Arts, who threw it on the boot across the face and taking the mark right on the line there for the Dolphins was Williams, right on the goal line, in fact. He's held up well back there, Max Williams. He's had a good game. He's going to bring it up the outer side, and that's a good kick. It's Jarnstrom, still just inside the defensive 50. Looking up that outer wing into the sunshine. The left footer goes with a three-quarter sort of kick. Punched away there by Igmalesi Smith for the Tigers. And then he goes back and remonstrates with Bo Bailey. And we get a ball in between wing and half forward on the outer side for Richmond. They still trail, or lead I should say, by 22 points as the umpire brings it back into play.
And it'll be Soldo under this. He'll win the tap down. Trying to bustle his way through there was Mullane. Got a hand pass out wide. It was taken clear by Woodman. Kick to open traffic. Running onto the footy here for Richmond was Fletcher towards the line. Just kept in by the Tigers. Kick back towards half forward. Mullane, athletic. Brewer stayed down, got the football. Had time to get back onto his right boot. Let himself down with the kick, and the mark is taken well. And then he's kicked straight into the man on the mark there, did Woodman. Kick back towards the top of the goal square. Great mark, Gordon.
Well done.
Very well done in the last line of defence with Chol coming in the other direction. Gordon brings out the half-back. Athletic stuff from Newman, the skipper. Takes the mark on half-back for Frankston. Right in front of the Frankston social rooms. Not a good kick, though. And the mark is unable to be taken on the stretch by Max Williams, and it goes over for a throw-in.
So back where we all started a moment ago on the half-forward line for the Tigers. 7-1-43 they lead. Frankston's 3-3-21. Brings it back into play, the umpire. That was Rendell who palmed it away. Collier Dawkins won't be able to keep this in. That was Angus Stiles, the former Sydney Swan listed player who took Collier Dawkins over the boundary line.
Around the grounds to the AFL, Geelong 11-5-71 lead North Melbourne 5-8-38, 14 minutes into the third quarter. And Melbourne Uni in the VFLW 3 straight 18 lead Geelong 2-1-13.
And we've played 12 minutes in this second quarter as Frankston have it on the half-back line. Fordham, little left foot kick in front there. It was punched away by Cody Wilson. Now going in there and winning the ball, that was Fletcher who threw it on the boot. Towards the broadcast wing. Soldo had to go down a long way to get that. He had to take an elevator to go down and get that. Good kick up by Arts towards the half-forward line. Inside the pocket here and just running out of room there. That was Brewer. We've got a boundary thrown in the right forward pocket.
I'm going to say again, when you come through the middle of the ground, you've got to hit your target, especially if it's a little 15-metre kick. If you can't hit the target, kick it long.
We'll get the VFL updates very shortly for you. As the boundary umpire puts it back into play, deep forward for the Tigers. Coleman, Jones and Miller. Miller won it down. Flicked up by Coleman, Jones. Lockie Williams just gets rid of his opponent and then has the kick smothered by a second one. Arts, quick snap out of the pack, is out wide. And Max Williams back with the flight gets poleaxed by Marbior Chol. And it's over the line for a throw-in. Geelong 3-1-19, North Melbourne 2-1-13 in the VFL, Sandringham 3-4-22, Collingwood 2-4-16. So, and of course, Box Hill Hawks drawing with Footscray at the MCG, 12-12-84 apiece. 5 goals to Jared Roughhead. One down, Manor couldn't pick it up cleanly. Max Williams did. Forced a hand pass out. Woodman threw it on the outside of the boot. Arts flew high, couldn't take the mark. Trying to bustle through was Townsend. Got the hand pass out to Naish. Outside of the boot, kicks a goal. Patrick Naish with the banana through traffic. And the Tigers get another one and go to a 28-point lead. They're 8-1-49. Frankston 3-3-21, nearly 14 minutes gone, second quarter.
That's Naish's second goal. Both snaps on the run, and he's certainly saying to the Richmond selectors, I am here.
Well, if you want to get into this senior team at Richmond, go and kick some check side goals from 40 out. What a goal from Patrick Naish.
And, of course, Richmond are over in Fremantle later on today, so, not going in as favourites, so Fremantle expected to win that. So if some of the Richmond players don't do their job, we could see this guy debuting next week.
And that is his second goal with all the disposals he's got. You'll give us an update on that, on how many he's got. A banana in that situation, absolutely fine with it. He was on the wrong side. I know I criticise no left foot often. That was a right foot banana that had to be kicked then.
Patrick Naish, 15 disposals.
He's having a blinder at the moment as Chol is into the ruck. He stayed on the ground and won the tap. Caught with the footy was Ferreira. Was the original tackle may have been a fraction high. The umpire thought it was okay from his vantage point. And we'll have a ball up. Been told that Elvo will get too excited if I keep talking about bananas too much. There's an in-joke, guys, if you're listening at home. And ladies and mothers, we'll get to a message for mothers shortly as Goy Locke kicks towards half forward, but Caulfield is in front of ZJ and takes the mark. Got it across to Turner and to Beasley. He tries to race through and can't do so. Clever was Caulfield. He found 2 Tigers on their own out on the wing. One of those is Mav Weller, who, weighted that kick beautifully in the end to Collier Dawkins in the edge of the centre square. Sets it up towards half forward. It's Chol coming in from the side. At the back is Silvestro. Also there is Morris. Hand pass back inboard Silvestro. Hand pass over the top to the goal square. Arts brought down in the tackle. Great defensive work by Frankston. Still a chance here for Richmond, but it'll be wrapped up. But that was a certain goal saved. Couldn't quite catch where the tackle came from, but Jake Arts was running into an open goal there if he'd gotten through. It might have been Angus Styles who brought him down. Excellent work.
Deep in attack for the Tigers, palmed away by Rendell. Good tackle there on Thompson. It squirted out. The umpire said play on. Now laying another big tackle in there. That was Jarnstrom, I believe, again for the Dolphins. Just hanging on here. Deep in defence. It was actually Taylor Grace emerging from that scrimmage. Only about 15 out from the Tigers' goal. The palm downs come to Weller, and Weller's sharked another one. Opportunistic goal there, Mav Weller. And that's Richmond's 9th goal. 16 and a half minutes played in this second quarter. They lead now 9-1-55. Frankston still trailing 3-1-21. 3-3-21, excuse me, Elbo.
It's really starting to get dangerous here for Frankston, isn't it? They've got to stop this onslaught. They've got to get the next couple of goals. We're only halfway through the second quarter, and Richmond have really got the run on here. Just wanted to say, every time the ball goes down into that pocket, I'm getting very manhandled here in the van. There's a few holding the mans on. Brett Sternberg's, who's trying to call the games, are ripping me off out the back of the van, mate.
I'm going to put you through that back window.
Yeah, am I right to sit forward now, Brent? All good, mate?
You're right,
it's only when it goes down there.
You got to hide. I'll come up with a comeback for that about 30 seconds too late, as I usually do. So it's a 34-point lead to Richmond. But the thing is, Frankston are not playing badly. They're playing quite well. They're just Richmond taking every single opportunity that is afforded to them, just as Williamstown did. There's the second one for this umpire. Oh no, that's the third umpire who's made a mistake. So that's 4 between them. So this quarter, we'll keep track on that. It's 4 between them for the game.
This quarter, Richmond 4-1, Frankston 1 point.
They might run out of strikes in a second. You might have to go out there and bounce the ball, Alvo.
It's probably going to be better than being in you if you throw me around.
I used to be able to do it all right. As Soldo almost took it out of the ruck. Ferreira stole it off his hands. It went back to Soldo.
Oh.
Free kick to Weller. Umpire says no. And it'll be wrapped up by Grace. He makes sure it doesn't come out of there. Remember, if you're listening here at the ground, head over to the van at half-time and see our President Nia. We've got flowers for your mum from Malaku Flowers and 2 sensational winter tans from the Eternity Spray Tanning at Berwick, as well as 2 fabulous hampers from the Little Soap and Candle Company. There's only limited supply, so make sure you bring your mum over to us at half-time and see us at the Casey Radio van.
The ball at centre-half forward here for the Tigers. It's Weller in there doing some good work. He's laid a big tackle there on, I believe that's Ferreira, who will give the ball to the umpire right on the attacking edge of the square for the Tigers, who have opened up a handy lead in the second quarter. Again, Weller's going to shark that clearance inside 50. Chol couldn't take the footy. Williams coming up and got it, but good tackle there by Collier Dawkins. The umpire will ball it up in the left forward pocket for the Tigers. They've had a good quarter down at this end. They've had plenty of highlights. The Coleman Jones mark, Naisha's goal. And they lead by 34 points. They've come away with this as well. We've got a free kick in here, the umpire, and it's going to go Frankston's way. No, it's going to go Richmond's way, excuse me. And it'll go to Blake Brewer, who will go back and set sail from 50 out on a slide angle. This for Richmond's 10th goal of the game.
And the way they've been kicking today, you certainly wouldn't put it past him. He's a good kick for goal.
He's a very good kick.
Blake Brewer. Or having said that, he's kicked 2-3 this season.
So the red-headed maestro kicks from right on the paint. Lean back on the kick a little. The Tiger players on the line, don't even worry about that. That's gone straight through post height. A wonderful kick there from Blake Brewer. And the Tigers do indeed get their 10th goal, and they move to 10-1-61. We've got an even 40-point ball game. Frankston 3-3-21.
Blake Brewer was on the Brisbane Lions list for a couple of years, just couldn't sort of break through. So I think injuries got him as well. So Richmond picked him up last year, and he's been a good addition.
22 minutes second quarter at Victoria Park. Sandringham 4-6-30 leading Collingwood 2-4-16. And quarter time at Avalon Airport Oval. Geelong 4-1-25 leading North Melbourne 3-1-19. The VFLW, Melbourne Uni and Geelong, the VFL app doesn't work for live scores unless you click into it, so we'll see what's going on there before the umpire has another go here. Melbourne Uni 3 straight 18 leading Geelong 2-1-13. So bounce of the ball, and that's a good one. And the crowds missed the Bronx cheer on that, as Soldo tries to do the roving and left the football behind, as did Turner, as did Tutupu, who then laid a strong tackle and brought the ball to ground. Tracking it out to the wing there was Fletcher, who went around the corner towards half forward. The pack was crashed at forward and picked up the loose footy. Kicked into the centre dangerously. Caulfield thumped it with authority inside 50. Grace ran onto the football.
Throw.
Was it a throw or
in the back?
Push in the back, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be a free kick to the Dolphins. And it's coming back to Taylor Grace, who'll take it at the true centre-half back position for Frankston. The Dolphins deserve a goal, but they badly need one. They need about 4.
They don't want to resort to this again. They're starting to chip it around. Take the game on.
Blake Mullane short to Wilson. They've gone in a triangle and gained basically nothing. And now Wilson doesn't know what to do with it. He kicks it out wide to the wing. He finds a target. That was good in Gordon. Although wants him to run, and he does run and kicks it straight to Miller, who dropped the mark straight through his hands. Got a hand pass back to Weller, who left it behind. Tutupu with strength, gets around one, gave it back to Wilson, who's going to be run down. There's no prior opportunity there.
Tackled the arm.
Yep, ball it up.
There was no one on the mark out there who should have just taken off. They've got to take the game on, Frankston.
Yep, so it's all they can do, and they looked really good when they do. As the umpire puts it up again, thump forward to Tupu, hand pass over the top, knocked down by Turner, picked up by Fletcher, out wide to Miller, little one through traffic to Turner again, back to Naish. Turnover time, here goes Ferreira, kicks inside forward, 53 on 1 to beat for Darcy, thumped away from him. Ferreira sweeps in from the side again. Unfortunately, he runs out of room this time, and it's over for a throw in.
Into attack though, Frankston, they'd love to get a late one here.
This is probably about only the second or third time it's been in their forward 50 this quarter.
Yeah, the fans up this end haven't had a whole lot to see in this second quarter. Ferreira, clever little toe poke to himself. Then he got it on his left foot. Going back courageously there with the Frankston player, and he's interfered with Igmalesi Smith. That was Bo Bailey.
He was going to mark it, then he got dragged down.
Yeah, so Igmalesi Smith Kick up towards centre half back. Collier Dawkins takes the mark and he's got numbers on this near wing. That kick just managed to find its way to Thompson. Thompson wants to move it quickly by hand, and he does. Naish sold a bit of candy. Kick into the corridor, dangerous one, but Collier Dawkins again is there to take the mark. Alongside the edge of the centre square here, Collier Dawkins. Dawkins is going to go up towards the centre wing position on the broadcast side, and he's kicked that straight out on the full. So that's the end of that chapter for the Tigers. Gordon brought it in to Wilson. They're going to go across the back of the square here. This is the former skipper in Mullane. He's got Arts dancing the mark right on the back of the square. Mullane goes to the outer side, and he's got a man. That was Kingsbury. Still on the half-back line. Kingsbury with an interesting-looking kick. Glock flew from the back. Couldn't take the mark, brought it to ground. Going in there hard was the Tigers player. Now it comes to Ballard. Gave it back here. Left foot kick around the body was smothered by Woodman. Woodman might go and win the footy. No, his teammate got there first, but he's taken down from behind by Ballard, and it's holding the ball. Great tackle, centre wing, outer side. The home fans don't think so.
That was harsh.
Yeah. Ballard wanted 50. He's not going to get that. Might have been lucky to get the decision in the first place, Jacob Ballard, but he'll have the kick. Centre wing, outer side. Ballard sends one up towards the 50, inside 50 in fact. Coleman Jones flew again, couldn't take the mark. Brewer pounced on it. Got the handball to Arts, who tried to back out of traffic. Got the handball to Townsend. Good tackle in there by that Frankston player. It was Wilson. Going again hard, Wilson. Townsend and a couple of his Richmond mates in there applying a big tackle, and we'll get a ball up 55 out from Richmond's goal.
As a Frankston supporter, you can't be disappointed with their endeavour. They're really having a go, aren't they?
Oh, they've given it absolutely everything, and if they were playing a lesser opposition, they'd be right in this game, I think. One down by Tutupu, and he has a second tap. Trying to run away from there was Fordham, had it taken away from him. Caught with the football is Jarnstrom. Umpire will call for a ball up. No, he pinged him. I'm speechless. What else could he have done with that? And he's asking that exact question of the umpire right now.
The only thing I can say is he wasn't making an attempt to get it out. He did go down on the ball quickly, but maybe the umpire said, well, you weren't trying to get it out.
I reckon he was. He's given the hand pass off here. Weller from 55 metres out. Pushes it way across the face. Don't give it to Mav again if he's going to kick it like that. But it's out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will go to the Dolphins. He was wriggling around on the ground there, Elvo, like a rugby league player who was trying to play the footy. So I certainly don't think it was that, as Newman brings it out of defence, or if it was, it shouldn't have been. Newman kicks it out on the full, and it's going to come straight back in.
Was he doing his imitation dance of the worm?
And North Melbourne kicked 4 goals in 5 minutes in the AFL and got back within 10 points, but Geelong has just answered. So they lead by 16. Geelong 78, North Melbourne 62.
Coleman Jones, that was, who couldn't take the mark, but Arts has gathered here. He goes on the left. Has he snuck it in? No, he's just missed to the left-hand side. As Townsend and Kingsbury go at it on the deck. Frankston will look to move it in quickly here. Kick's gone short. This is Fordham. Arts closing on. The kick was smothered by Arts. He'll go again, Fordham, and give it to the skipper in Newman. Newman up towards centre wing. Going in there with Markov. Brought it to ground and then went and won the footy and then just kicked an absolute sack. Inside 50. It's a high one. It's off hands. Up towards the goal square. Coleman Jones is onto it. He just ran out of room. He got the kick away. But it's off target. It's through for a behind. Big fella just couldn't slow up there, Elmo.
Markov's done the running barrel.
You don't see that too often. Yeah. Frankston will look to bring it in here. It's a good kick out. Finds Grace. And they look to move it up this broadcast side, Frankston.
And it's in the hands, deep in defence, still there of Grace, who goes short and wide to Max Williams. Still inside defensive 50. With Thompson on the mark. He's given the hurry up and called to play on. So Williams brings it long down the line. Townsend flies in from the side, couldn't take the mark. Great hand pass through, release lock for the Dolphins. Kicks up to half forward, foot race here. Turner will get back there first in front of Darcy. Dangerous kick. Jarnstrom and Caulfield. There's support there also coming from the first gamer in Street, who kicks it out wide to the wing. Flashing over the top is Naish, couldn't take the mark. Lockie Williams under the pump. How'd he get rid of that? Just got a hand on it. Brewer with a handball over the top. Soldo stops, props, kicks inside 50. Half volley was beautiful pickup. Little kick around the corner towards goal. How will this go?
Oh, no.
It might be a goal.
It is.
I didn't even see who kicked it. It happened that quickly. Naish, maybe. Pat Naish has got his third, potentially. It's either he or Ballard who's kicked that goal.
That's just unlucky for Frankston, which bounced through. It was a total miskick, really.
Just a scramble. I didn't even see the Richmond player grab the ball, let alone kick it.
That was,
It's Pat Naish who's kicked his third goal of the first half. So he's having some sort of game, Patrick Naish.
Well done by Brewer out there to win the ball. Really worked hard, applied the tackle, got the start for that goal.
18 disposals and 3 goals for Patrick Naish. I think Damien Hardwick might be wanting him to up the other 2 stats on this sheet. Marks 1, tackles 0. But if he keeps playing like this, he'll be irresistible pretty soon.
They've opened up a 48-point margin. The Tigers, Soldo, again won that tap out. Grace couldn't find a teammate with the handball. Street in there. I've liked his first game, Street. He's done some nice things, but now they come up the half-back line. Frankston, Kingsbury, got a free kick. The umpire's paid advantage. Locke had it punched away from him by Caulfield. I don't know about that advantage. Now Locke's on the footy on the centre wing out of side. He's jumped on. The umpire's going to get over there and say holding the ball.
With that advantage, he took his 3 steps, mate, so regardless of whether it is or not, it's the player's choice there.
Richmond look to move it on quickly, and here's Street again, Lockie Street on the centre wing. He's showing a cool head here, and he's not looking to move it on with any urgency. Now he does, because the umpire tells him to. Left foot kick inside 50. Coleman Jones again got some hang time. Grace in the back line for the Dolphins. He's going to go back here to the skipper in Newman. He has it in the back pocket. Newman, kick over the head of Ballard and finds Rich. Rich gave the handball to a teammate, and now Frankston can move it back out this broadcast side. Taking the mark is Hiscott. He's still on the half-back line, Lockie Hiscott. He's just going to kick for distance. Up the wing to Tupu is there. He have to fly for it. He got bumped off it by the Richmond player. Ball comes to ground. To Tupu, couldn't take it. It's socked forward by the Frankston player, and Darcy's in the middle of the ground. Markov worked him off it. Oh, socked straight through the hands. It went through there from Mullane. Now the Tigers have it in the back line. It's a well-weighted kick right out in front of our commentary position. This is Weller. Weller sends it back up the line.
And he goes long down towards half forward. Townsend lost his feet. Then went in and lost it again. Brewer left the football behind. Picked up by Tutupu, who hacked it towards the wing. Streets in the road for Richmond. Wanted to go. Well, that was called play on Friday night. That's the one I was talking about. He wasn't called play on this time. Egmalesi Smith has the footy at half-back for Richmond. And he goes back towards the wing from where it came. Front spot. Was that nearly a chop of the arms? It doesn't matter. Townsend is furious with the umpire. And I think he's got every reason to be, because he got a good old Spud Frawley ear massage out of that. And no free kick was paid, so he just marches into the rooms in disgust. It is, and he does, straight into the rooms. Straight to the bench.
Boundary.
Straight to the bench in disgust. It is half-time here at Skybus Stadium, Frankston Park. We are set for the third quarter here at Skybus Stadium, Frankston Park. The Tigers by 48. Can Frankston come back? Umpire slams it down. It's an uncontested tap for Tutupu. Trying to work his way through Manor. Got dispossessed. Air swing for Locke, who's gone onto the footy. And we'll get a secondary ball up in the middle of the ground.
Bit lucky there. Riley Collier-Dawkins, I thought that was, going forward in the tackle.
One down this time by Soldo. Quick kick forward for the Dolphins. Egmalesi Smith left it behind. Snap around the corner there came from Mullane. Almost the mark to Miller. Couldn't quite. Quick kick forward. Bailey inside 50. How will this one bounce? Just inside the line. And over for a boundary throw-in.
Being outside the van at half-time there, guys, it just got a bit cold. Sun's gone down a bit.
I always say the only good thing about winter is footy, so it's good that we've got a great game of footy going on.
The ball in the forward pocket for the Dolphins. Getting there ahead of Darcy. That was Beasley. Oh, and Brewer worked Ferreira under that footy and took a nice mark. No, the umpire saying a push out. That was a late decision there from the umpire. So Lucio Ferreira is signalling to his teammates that he's going to go back and have a shot for goal.
Why not?
He is on a tight angle and he'll kick from outside 50. He's a wonderful looking player, isn't he, Lucio Ferreira? And this would be just the start they wanted, Frankston. A goal inside the first minute and a half. The left footer Gets onto that one. It's going to go right to the line. That's just gone the wrong side of the stick there and missed to the left-hand side. And Frankston moved to 3-4-22. And bringing it back in here for the Tigers once again is Malessi Smith. He's going to go short out into the pocket where he's got his teammate here. And the Tigers will look to reset and go up this broadcast side. And that's exactly what they do. Although he's kicked into the man on the mark there. That was Kingsbury.
And the mark's being reset here, I think.
It.
So that's a lucky escape there for Caulfield. He gets another chance. And he'll bring it down the Brian Mace wing. Big fly. Weller takes a strong mark in the front spot. Rich thought he was pushed out before Weller got to the front spot. He's giving the umpire a decent old spray, similar to the one that he copped from Jacob Townsend just before halftime. Weller sets it up high for Ballard to fly from the side, but Chol from the front.
Good grab.
Well, he came in from nowhere, Marbior Chol. Flicked it to half forward. Ferreira, that's an even better mark from Aloisio Ferreira. Right in front of our broadcast, and here comes the switch. He has to hit the target. He misses the target. This will cost them a goal. Naish to Townsend, 25 metres out, directly in front, and that's where it falls down, the switching tactic.
Yep, silly mistake.
You've got to hit the target every time if you're going with the switch at halfback.
Absolutely.
I don't mind the courage of them to try it, and that's the game plan they're trying to put in, but you've got to pull it off every single time. Because Jacob Townsend, you can almost bet your bottom dollar that he won't miss this.
Yep.
Having said that, I'm just about to write it down into the under the B column because I've just jinxed him.
He's a wonderful shot for goal normally, Townsend.
And he kicks the goal. So the ultimate punishment for a skill error for Aloisio Ferreira. And Jacob Townsend has his first goal. And the Tigers go along to 12-3-75. Frankston 3-4-22. 3.5 minutes gone in the third quarter.
Richmond's 10th goal kicker.
It is.
Now, have Richmond got the most hyphenated names in the VFL AFL?
1, 2, 3 playing today.
They would.
You'd have to go through and work them out, but off the top of my head, you'd have to say they're pretty close.
Casey have got 2, I believe, but Buxton...
Whale Buxton, who goes by Buxton anyway, we're told.
Yep,
That's why we're told to go by Buxton, until we get told otherwise. That's why we don't say Whale.
And they've got another one too, I believe.
So back into the middle. Ferreira missed one. Oh, we're going to get
his third.
Another stoppage here.
That's his third. So let's see if the rule we've been told is correct and whether he has another go.
Yeah,
the Frankston supporters don't want him to try again.
Does he have to tell him next time that he won't be bouncing it?
Well, they usually do anyway.
Okay.
So up it goes again, thrown in a big tackle there, and the umpire says a dangerous tackle too. And then they're going to reverse it here, or no? Weller got put down after the free kick.
The umpire's just telling him to stop.
And Soldo and Hiscox in there are going at it.
I'll watch the fight.
Rich sends it inside 50 for Frankston. No mark taken. It's set up for Bailey. There's another free kick here, and it's a push out. It's going to Richmond. The Tigers will get it in the back line. The fight in the middle is broken up.
Beasley.
This is Beasley, indeed, in the back pocket. For the Tigers, he'll come up the broadcast wing again. Can Chol go and take another good mark here? Couldn't quite. It was Collier Dawkins who flew. The handball comes here to Rich. A left foot kick up towards the forward line. Drop mark there. That was Fletcher. Now they've got it here. Cody Wilson. He's going to have a flying shot for go. Wilson. And the wind almost brought it back. It has. Snuck inside that left goal post. And Frankston have goal number 4. Wonderful finish from right on the arc. Cody Wilson.
Great goal. Whistle's gone here. What's going on?
No, I think that was just an all clear whistle, was it? Or?
No, there's no whistles for all clear, so something's been paid.
So there's no goal?
No, the goal stands. I'm sure the goal stands. It's going to be a free kick at centre half forward to Corey Rich.
Okay.
I think. So it was after the all. I think it was after the all clear and the flags were waved. Hence why it's not downfield for a second kick in the goal square. That's my best guess on that one.
Well, Brewer and Hiscock were having a bit of a howdy-do out there before.
So it's Corey Rich from 60 metres out. He kicks a wobbler in towards the pocket. No mark taken there. Picked up by ZJ, who had it ripped away from him. They were onto him very quickly today. He hasn't had more than an inch all day. Quick kick out of defence gives the Tigers a chance to clear. Great handball from Brewer. Silvestro Fed it through. Now away they go. Ballard over the top. Backing himself was Collier Dawkins. Thompson has it stolen away from him by Wilson. Gave it across to Rendell, who kicks into the pocket. Floating in from the side, Beasley arrived and thumped it over the line for a throw-in.
Good pressure turnover there by Frankston in the middle.
Go around the ground shortly for an update on the other two VFL games. Both very tight at the moment. As the boundary umpire tosses it in 51 metres out from the Frankston goal to Tupu. It was non-contested. Now, what's been picked out here? There was 2 Frankston players up and no Richmond players, and it's been called a shepherd. Either that or Rendell wasn't the nominated ruckman, and he took it, so gives away the free kick. Tigers will come out of defence here through Egmalesi Smith. Brings it up towards the wing for Townsend, who takes the mark in front of Fordham. Providing the option is Turner, but he goes with a flower bag towards half forward. Oh, good work by Gordon, but then it spilled out of his hands. He had to go back and get it and did it nicely. Kicks into the centre circle to Tupu with strength.
Mark.
Too big and strong. Took the mark in front of Markov. Gave it out wide to Bailey, who goes up towards half forward. ZJ. Little hand pass over the top was off target, and a little bit of afters to go on with will create some issues here. ZJ got a shove in the back after he got dumped over the line. No free kick. We'll have a ball in, I should say.
It was well done there by Beasley to get the hand in on that handball from ZJ. Throw in on the half-forward line. Rendell, Soldo flicked it away, but it was Styles. Ferreira punched it backwards to a teammate who has his head over the footy. That was Mullane, who's been caught high, said the umpire. So they'll take that free kick. Silvestre, I think that was in the tackle. So Blake Mullane send the Dolphins back inside 50. Which is a good start in this third quarter here for the Dolphins, but they need some goals to show for it. Oh, it's a shocking kick. Went straight to Townsend in front of Randell, so they won't go inside 50 after all that. Up towards the outer wing, bounced off the chest of Jarnstrom. Chol now, or Jarnstrom's still over it. Got a handball to a teammate who fished it up the field. Now Wilson got away from his own man, and then his handball was smothered. Tiger player in there, gang tackle. That was Ballard, just got a handball away. Weller gave it straight to Ferreira. That was a good handball to find Mullane, who sold a bit of candy, then sent it inside 50. Soldo might have got interfered with, did get interfered with. Well, no. Well, yes, it was. They've taken the advantage, the Tigers. Working hard to get out there was Arts. It'll bounce up for him on this near wing. Arts kicked back up towards the wing, and he's turned it straight over.
And it was into Ferreira from I've gone blank on it. It was Woodman who kicks up towards half forward Ferreira, and Newman takes the mark on forward 50. So Newman from 50 metres out. I reckon he's got the distance in him from here, and he seems to think so too, Josh Newman. He thought about options, but basically every player is inside Frankston's 50, so he's got to go back and have a shot. This will be a real captain's goal if he can put this one through from long range. Josh Newman has not scored yet this season for the Dolphins. Kicks from 55. It's way out to the right. It was too far for him, and it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will be taken in the last line of defence by Miller. He goes short and finds Turner, who holds things up as Morris just sneaks back onto the ground on the wing and provides an option. Turner goes long and high up towards half back. This is made for Soldo. He couldn't bring the mark down. Base of the pack, Collier Dawkins picked up by Ferreira. Jarnstrom got flattened. Here go the Tigers on the fast break. Ballard through the middle of the ground. Kicks towards full forward. Chol's back with the fly to the footy. And he takes the mark, 25 out, and then strolls into the open goal. Jimmy Miller went to sleep, and Chol kicks it into the Nepean Road.
Now I'm with Jimmy Miller here. Doesn't he have to go back and get behind his mark? Because he showed he wasn't playing on.
You would think so. You would think so?
Yeah, I totally agree. Jimmy Miller saying, how can that be play on when he didn't play on? He stopped, so he's got to get back behind his mark. That's a mistake by the umpire.
The only query I'd say is if it wasn't a free kick when you have to go behind the mark, it was a mark. But I'm pretty much with you on that, and Jimmy Miller in that he did stop.
Yep.
And he made as if to turn around and go back, and then changed his mind and ran off as soon as Jimmy Miller turned his back.
The rule is you got to get behind your mark.
You can't turn your back like Jimmy Miller did. But, I can see both sides of the story, but I think it's probably correct.
Well, that's maybe a Charles second.
Yeah, Marbior Charles got 2 goals. And, that's why he's unlucky. Miller's unlucky, but he still needs to be awake at all times.
Yeah.
So they've retrieved the footy after having to swim about 200 metres to go and get it. Back into the middle, we'll have another stoppage here. Ferreira on the bottom of it for the Dolphins, and all Townsend's just pushed Cody Wilson there. And now we've got Townsend and Locke going at it, and Locke didn't like that.
A little bit of ill feeling creeping in, isn't there?
Yeah.
Richmond 13-3-81 to Frankston 4-4-28, I should say, after 12 minutes.
Coleman Jones took it out of the ruck and then got a boot to it. It was touched play on. Chol couldn't win it. Frankston do. It's a handball out here in front of Yarnstrom, who's going to go backwards here. No, forwards eventually to Hiscott. Now to Locke. Locke threw it on that left boot and sent a high one in towards the centre square. We're going to get a free kick down the field, though.
Dumped after he kicked it right in front of us.
Yeah, not a lot in it, but definitely late.
So Riley Darcy, right in the middle of the ground. Sends it up towards centre half forward, and taking the mark is Shem Tutupu.
The big Kiwi sizes up his options and sets it long and high towards full forward. Big fly from the side, almost brought it down. Rendell out the side here is Kingsbury running onto the football. Somehow managed to get a kick away. Good to see that. Only as far as Egmalesi Smith, who goes up and under on the wrong foot. 2 left foot kicks in a row. That's much better. Ballard picks it up, then shrugged the tackle. Got it off to the running player coming out of defence. That was Townsend, who went short and found... that is Collier Dawkins to half forward, set for a fly. Oh, that's a really good mark, Max Williams. Thompson had set himself to fly over top, and Williams just planted his feet, stood his ground, and took the mark. He went short in the switch. He's missed the target on the switch. It's dangerous. Grace, I should say, has got time to recover. Chips it out wide just inside the line and finds Wilson. He goes short.
Oh, no.
Mark was dropped. Another skill error. Gives an opportunity here for Richmond. Naish with a little hand pass through to Silvestro. Out towards the pocket. Thompson from 50. Wanted to go. Does go now. Chips into the pocket. Not a good kick. And it bounces away in front of Marbior Chol for a throw in.
When Frankston play the little chip kicks, it ends up being their downfall. As I said before, they play better when they grab it, run, kick long.
Yep, they haven't quite got the skill level down pat on that short pass, do they?
No.
Poor skills by foot from both teams there in that little passage of play. It's Richmond by 53 points here. Now the ball inside 50. Randall palmed it away. Coleman Jones went and got it. Williams took him to ground. The umpire says that was a legal tackle, and he gets over there and balls it up.
Round the ground, Sandringham 6-6-42 leading Collingwood 4-6-30, and Geelong 8-4-52 leading North Melbourne 7-6-48 at halftime.
Oh, now Coleman Jones took that out of the ruck, and the umpire has pinged him for holding the ball. So whether that was an illegal disposal, maybe, because...
It'd have to be a legal disposal because you are now allowed to take it out of the ruck.
We've mentioned that rule previously this afternoon. This is Williams right on fullback. He's just assessing his options, and he looked like he was going to bring it up the broadcast side. Now he goes to the outer side, and the kick just finds his teammate there in Fordham. And this is what they're doing. Although he doesn't like it, or Wilson dropped the mark, just chipping it around in the back line by hand. They'll move it back here. Oh, and in all sorts of trouble there. They got out of the road there and got a kick away. That was Miller. Sent a big kick up towards the half-back line. And off hands and out of bounds.
Paul Elvish, how many for Will Fordham? Because you get the feeling he's sort of flashed in and out of the game at times. And when he's been in, he gets a lot of the ball very quickly, but then he doesn't get it for 10 or 15 in a row.
He's had 17 disposals, 2 tackles.
We've just had a horse come in the gate here at Frankston Park.
Is somebody riding it?
A Great Dane, in other words.
There you go. Someone can still ride it.
That is a very big dog. Thanks, Nia, for pointing that one out. As the ball came out towards half-back and was taken away there by Fletcher. Kicks across the wing.
Well, that's holding the man.
Has to be. Not paid. Gordon picks it up. It should have been a Richmond free kick. Towards the wing it goes. Bailey will run onto this. Deep in the pocket now. Kicks from an impossible angle.
Oh, good effort.
That's how it proves.
Good effort.
Bailey with 1 goal, 1 today. Frankston 4-5-29. Richmond 13-3-81 after 16 of the third as Coleman Jones marks at halfback.
So here they go, the Tigers. Lead by 52 points. Coleman Jones told to move it on. Just back to the wing. He'll send a high one up towards centre wing. Oh, Brewer was the high flyer there. Off hands. Selling some candy there for the Tigers. That was Manor. Good kick found Fletcher. He'll give a handball over the top here, and Silvestro can send the Tigers inside 50. Well, his kick was a bit shorter than that. Too short, in fact. Brewer had to play on towards full forward. Soldo just got rid of Miller.
Too early.
And the umpire said it was an illegal...
That's the only problem. It was too early. There was nothing wrong with it otherwise, apart from it being too early.
Yeah.
So Miller's short kick finds his backline mate there in Williams.
Just a real show of strength, wasn't it, from Ivan Soldo?
That's a good kick to find Locke.
This is better run, Locke.
And he's been held up, although he does have numbers on this near side. He hasn't seen Lockie Williams. The Locke's used all of his time here. He'll go further afield and very wide. He finds the skipper in Newman. It's all just a little bit stale here from the Dolphins. Little kick up the line. There's a Styles.
I'll get his numbers off you too if we could, Paul.
Styles, half back line. Just goes for territory. Tutupu through his hands. Darcy out the back. Missed Ferreira. A bit of a fumble there in the end by Ferreira, who did get onto it. Now Bailey gave it to Locke, who sent a bit of a ugly-looking left foot kick up towards full forward. Kingsbury used his body well, but the ball's going to run away from him and Silvestro, and out of bounds deep in attack for Frankston.
Styles, 10 disposals, 1 tackle.
And Fordham, did I miss when you said his?
Fordham, 17 disposals, 2 tackles.
And so he gets more than you think, Will Fordham. But when he gets the ball, he gets it in clumps. Ball back into play. One taken straight out of the ruck by Tutupu, flying shot on goal, just floats across the face. Be run onto here by Caulfield, who brought it out wide. And he got shoved over after he got rid of the ball, so it'll be a downfield free kick. It was BJ Credlin, in fact, who gets that one. And the Tigers to take it on the half-back line through the agency of Fletcher, who kicks off the outside of the boot. It hugs the boundary line. Brewer over the top. Max Williams sees it over the line. And
Weller helps him up. All good. Yeah, it was an accident.
He just slightly helped him on his way, but nothing in it. As soon as he realised that Max was going into the fence, he was very quick to come back.
they're
Corey's having a bit of fun back with Corey Rich having a bit of fun back with him, I think, there. So throw in right on centre wing position. Tutupu gets to the front spot. Soldo slaps him over the head. He had the footy when the tackle started, so that was fine for me. As the ball from Thompson goes out towards the opposite flank. Newman slips over, but then recovers well enough. Beautiful play by Newman in the end. And he got it to Grace, who went back to Newman across the half-back line to Locke. He can go further.
That's 50.
Very close to 50. Lucky he didn't sort of make one more move. Sean Manor coming in from behind there to get on the mark. Locke sends it back out wide again. A really good mark taken there by Robbie Turnbull. He gave the hand pass off to Woodman, who kicks to half forward. Nicely done there. It's with Bailey. Too far out to score is Bo Bailey. Needs to hit a target up here. Goes towards full forward. It's a pretty poor kick. The mark was missed by Darcy because he had an opponent in front of him. Hand pass out the back, and now it'll come away for the Tigers. Taken clear by Turner up towards wing off. Newman. Really good grab. He plays on, centres it inboard and finds Tutupu.
He's been everywhere, Newman. He just had the footy out on the the far side. Now he's got it on the broadcast wing. He's kicked down to Tutupu. Tutupu's going to go back to his skipper here, Gordon, who had to work to get that one. And we've got a 50-metre penalty here as well. Sean Manor went over the mark. So that's going to take... Hot. Sorry, Johnny, go on.
I said that's as hot. That is really hot.
Guys, Mav Weller's just run straight up into the room, so I'll just keep an eye on that.
So this is going to be a shot for goal here from the skipper, Josh Newman. The mark now will stand at about 35 out. A slight angle for Josh Newman to go back and kick Frankston's 5th goal as we've just ticked into time on here in this third quarter. It was Sean Manor who was pinged for a very hot 50-metre there, Alvo.
We saw Newman from 55. It was a fraction too far for him. He went for extra distance and kicked it out on the full. This is well within his range on that first kick.
So Josh Newman, in he comes. That looks all right. That's as straight as an arrow, that one.
Good kick.
Straight over the goal umpire's hat. And Josh Newman goes back to celebrate. As his side, the Frankston team, move to 5-5-35. They still trail Richmond 13-3, and accurate 13-3-81.
Captain's goal there. As I said just before, Maverick Weller's run up into the rooms and a few trainers are up there following him. So I'll just just keep an eye on that. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's a toilet stop or...
With the trainers going to give him a hand, do you reckon?
Well,
well, you
don't know about giving him a hand, but
you walked into that one.
Can I just quickly say, guys, a very quick hello to Josh O'Brien, who's a passionate Richmond supporter, and he's put the word out all through social media about our broadcast today. Thank you very much, Josh, and he's put the link everywhere.
Fantastic, Josh. Thank you very much. And to Brenton Mann at the Richmond Football Club, who publicises us through all their social media channels too, which is great to see. If you're listening in, Richmond supporters, hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Frankston supporters also, your team is having a real red-hot crack, and it's good to watch, even though they're being beaten as Richmond gets a free kick
off
in the middle
ball.
of the ground.
Townsend held off the ball.
So Jake Townsend with the football in the centre circle. He will go long and straight up the middle, looking for Coleman Jones. Thumped away from him by Williams. Grace, good hand pass. Lockie Williams goes short. ZJ's had to come up the ground. He's been well held in this game. Hand pass back. Ball knocked inboard. And the ball will be wrapped up again. The umpire will say mine. About 55 metres out from the Richmond goal.
It was a good tackle there by James Fletcher not to ride the Frankston player into the ground there.
All over, guys, at Marvel Stadium. Geelong winners by 24 points, 16-8, 104 to North Melbourne, 11-14, 80.
A bit of a scrimmage on the half-forward line here for the Tigers. Morris couldn't pick it up. Neither could Fletcher in there. The ball come back to him in the end. Locke and Styles in there applying the tackle. And the umpire said, "We'll do it all again. They'll ball that up 60 around from the Tigers' goal."
It's the scarcity of around the grounds updates that we're giving you that tells you how exciting this game is. Even though it is an 8-goal game. Quarter time, Hawthorn 3-1-19, GWS 1-3-9.
Got a free kick here to Locke in the back line. His kick finds Grace at centre half back. He'll chip it further afield to Rich. Just off the back of the square here, Corey Rich, and he'll go up towards the broadcast wing, floating across in front, picking it off his street. The first game, a sweeping handball up the line here to Manor. Manor fires one inboard, Naish. Naish found Collier Dawkins, who spun onto the right boot, and he's got a man inside 50. If the kick can get there, punched away from Gordon. Good spoil. Tigers have numbers to butter up here. That was Credlin. Got the handball to Brewer. That was a clever handball over his head, and this is Turner. Turner gave the handball to Coleman Jones in the pocket, who went around the body, and he's kicked it. Oh, lucky to scrape in for a behind there. He had teammates in the goal square who weren't happy with that kick. Richmond moved to 13-4-82. Frankston 5-5-35.
And Newman is everywhere. He's kicking it in from full back here. Brings it up towards half back. Flying over the top there was Gordon. Street's going to get caught. Just got to kick away before Darcy ran him down. Arts, he's caught as well. He had forever to get rid of the football, and when he did, he kicked it beautiful. Well, he kicked it wild. And a beautiful mark is what I was trying to get out there from Taylor Grace. He went inboard to Fordham.
Oh, no.
Dangerous, has to work. Mark was dropped by Hiscock. He's equal to the task. Short ball. And that finds Mullane, who'll come out of defence. Has to have a bounce. He's being tracked down here by Ballard. Taken clear for the Dolphins by Newman. Poor kick, Beasley. Will bring it back in for Richmond.
Riley Darcy just throwing his arms in the air. That was a poor kick. Beasley sends it up towards full forward. Scholes ran under it a bit here. Oh, really good mark, Jimmy Miller. That was poor from Scholes. Just completely misread that. Miller goes out wide, and this is Ferreira. Frankston will look to move it up the outer side. Getting late in this third quarter. Getting dark in this third quarter too, just quietly. Ferreira up the line. Turnbull's there, although it's gone over his head and taken the mark for the Tigers. I think that was Ballard. Now they'll move it across the back of the square. Here's Beasley again. Now Markov running through the middle of the ground. Careful little kick up towards Soldo, who had to go in and bring it to ground. Then won it off the ground. Gave it to Fletcher. Naish, what a kick that is. Up the centre half forward to find Sean Manor. Just outside 50 and probably a bit too far out to score. Man on the mark, Cody Wilson. Oh, and that's a poor kick, but through the hands of Rendell and snapping and making him pay for the Tigers. That was Jacob Townsend. He just missed to the left-hand side.
He probably just, I don't know, he had more time. I thought he
certainly let off Rendell, though, wasn't he? Should have taken that moment.
Absolutely.
So Gordon brings the footy back into play. He goes long over to the social room side. Beasley's at the back, and he'll be unable to shrug the tackle. He had to handball it off quickly. Somehow a mid-air kick while lying on the ground came from Bailey, and it worked. Oh, Styles is gone.
Oh, no.
Great chase and tackle.
But that's okay. I don't mind. He took the game on, and that's what we want him to do.
It was Robbie Turnbull who got run down from behind. Beautifully done by Street, the first gamer, who took the free kick. As the Seagulls move in for the chips, for the leftover chips from half-time, as Morris marks on half-back. He'll chip it short and wide. And it is with Turner, who is right back on the half-back line. And kicks it long down the line. Oh. Big fly from the side. Coleman Jones ended up with the ball. 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 Jones ended up with Hawkins. Great hand pass into the path of Thompson. Kicks up towards half forward. Lockie Williams with strength. Too good for Arts on that occasion.
Just got out-muscled and out-position there, Jake Arts. That was really well done there by Williams. Williams is going to look to switch. We've got a couple of players out here, but Markov in from the side with the athletic fist right on the three-quarter time siren, and Naish gets over to slap him on the bum and say, well done, young man.
Geez, he's hurt the... Who is that?
It's
Newman.
Corey Rich.
Corey Rich. Oh, I think he's giving... Oh, you give him a cork.
Corky, I reckon, yeah.
Right on the buttock.
That'll do.
You can say that. The buttock. It is three-quarter time here at Skybus Stadium. Yes, run, Forest, run. Run, Forest, run, isn't it? Richmond 13-5-83, leading Frankston by 48 points at three-quarter time. Weird. Brewer got it across to Silvestro, who had a little bit of a fumble, but still had time to regather and kick inside forward 50. Dolphins back with the numbers and rush it over the line for a behind. Soldo got the free kick for a Shepherd. Now, all that happened there was he completely misjudged the ball and Tutupu held his ground. Strange. 13-6-84, Richmond 5-5-35, Frankston.
It was an ordinary kick. Frankston bring it up towards this broadcast side. It stayed in here, it didn't.
Yeah, just quickly, they were very upbeat in the huddle. Danny Ryan was absolutely thrilled that contested possessions, they won by 6 that quarter. And he said, if you can do that every game, every quarter, we will win games. He said, this quarter, I want you to play more of a handball game, which I found quite interesting. I want you to handball, move it quickly. But very upbeat in there. Corey Rich is really struggling. He's got that thigh all taped up from that corky, and he was limping, so I'm not too sure whether he's out there.
Collie Dawkins had the kick smothered there. I think that was Ferreira who smothered that. So we'll get another boundary throw in here.
He's getting ready to come back on now, Elbo.
Okay, no worries. And I think
he's still trying to shake it out.
He took a painkiller as well. And also Weller, I'm not too sure if he's out there. He's certainly not on the bench. Oh, there he is.
Just about to come back on.
There you go.
So all good news for both teams as far as we're aware. As Ferreira somehow got a hand pass out. Jarnstrom, blind turn, did nicely, kicked it back towards the wing, looking for Rendell. He'll be beaten for it here by Credlin. Ball flicked over the top here. This is Townsend, who somehow got away from Tutupu and kicked it up towards full forward. Front and centre, doing the roving Thompson, but he hooks it back too far and puts it through for a behind.
I think he was running too quick for himself there.
1-1 for Charlie Thompson today. Richmond 13-7-85. Frankston 5-5-35 after 2:20 of the final quarter.
So an even 50-point margin. Newman's run a long way there with the kick in. Handball to a teammate, comes back to Newman. He got a good Shepherd. Almost got tackled off the kick there up towards centre wing. Bailey couldn't take the mark, but he's got it on ground level. His kick up towards the corridor's a dangerous one. Silvestro made it his, and he sent the Tigers back into attack. Oh, good mark there. This is the first game of Lockie Street. Gee, he's looked good. They've found a player here, the Tigers. Lachlan Street, who took the mark just inside 50. And he cost himself a goal in that first quarter, didn't he, when he passed it off when he shouldn't have. So this will be for his first goal in VFL footy.
Bit of nerves because, remember, he shanked the first one.
This one will come from directly in front. He skips in. He's a left footer. He kicks from right on the paint. It's a high kick. It's right to the line, and it's there. And they will get around him. Lachlan Street kicks his first goal.
Good boy.
In the VFL. And Richmond moved to 14-7-91. Frankston still 5-5-35. Lockie Street is away.
He showed a bit today, the young fella, hasn't he? What's the rule again, Jonty? How many minutes can your 23rd player
60% of game time.
What if there's an injury?
If there's an injury, he becomes a part of the 22.
So
if a player is ruled out for the game, he becomes a part of the 22.
Done, and the minutes doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Done. Okay.
That's the way it was explained to me a couple of years ago. Whether it's still the case, I'm sure will be set right if that's not still the case. But I believe that he's still on 60% time because Weller hasn't been ruled out, and I don't believe there's another player over there who has been ruled out. Check the numbers and see if someone's down on low numbers that might have been out of the game. We don't, of course, have a boundary rider here today to pick those things up. And it'll be tough anyway with the benches on the opposite side of the ground. Ferreira brings the ball back towards half forward. That's a terrific mark from Robbie Turnbull in the front spot. Gives the hand pass to the running Ferreira, who goes to Newman. He kicks inside 50. Not the best of kicks. Tigers are everywhere here. Caulfield will run through the line. Got it across to Collier Dawkins, who swings around onto the right boot.
Well done.
Kicks it beautifully out to the wing. Weller can run onto this football. Great shepherd there from Street. Gave Weller a chance to run. Kicks towards half forward. Soldo marks on the 50. Chips into the pocket. Good football. And Ballard has it 25 metres out on a tight angle. Well done in the back there from Lockie Street, who got rid of Dylan Gordon just as he was about to get hold of Mav Weller and allowed them to keep going, the Tigers.
One thing to mention too is, and when you've got a VFL team on their own, not a line of an AFL team, I think later on in the game fitness becomes a big thing.
It certainly can do. Jacob Ballard from 25 metres out pushes this one across the face and through for one behind only. So the Tigers go to 14-8-92, Frankston 5-5-35 at the 5.5 minute mark of the final quarter. There have been 11 goal scorers for Richmond, and that means there's now 12 on the score sheet because Ballard hasn't scored.
Straight up the middle.
Gordon kicked it to a pack and claiming the mark here is Tutupu. Right at centre half back. Tutupu will have it. He's called to play on. He gave the handball to a teammate who ran around the back and then sent it up towards the wing. Morris in front. Had to fist it away. Sat there for Weller, who gave it to Collier Dawkins. Now Markov through the corridor they come. Or Townsend's going to bring it out wide. He's got Scholl. Oh, well done there by Jarnstrom in from the side. Fletcher left it behind and then Jarnstrom went and won the footy. It was actually Newman. Handball missed the target. Wilson has to run onto it. He's got time to give it to Stiles. Stiles has missed Rich with the kick. Couldn't quite take the mark there, Weller. Now he's got it. He'll get away from Rich. Good handball up there for Naish to run onto. Naish got a shepherd. End the ball. He got the handball up towards Soldo, who looks to give it back. Fordham worked Naish off it. That was well done by Fordham. This kick has to be a good one. It was to his skipper in Newman. Just back of the wing on the outer side. He hits Locke right on centre wing.
Thought about going, didn't he, Locke? But he didn't. And he kicks on the left boot inside 50. Miller at the back. Rendell claimed it, didn't get it. Got a hand pass over. ZJ will stroll into the goal and put it through. A rare opportunity for Yulba ZJ, and he took it. And the Dolphins get a good goal. They go to 6-5-41. Richmond 14-8-92 at the 7 minute mark of the final quarter.
The kick out there from when Richmond got the point, straight up the middle. And that's taken the game on, isn't it? Again, when they move the ball fast, they look good. Who the Frankston player was that tried to claim that mark?
Rendell.
Rendell. Very funny.
Jamie Rendell.
Very funny.
Worth a try.
Hey, why not?
Worth a try. But he was quick enough and smart enough to realise that when he wasn't getting it, he was able to move it on very quickly to the man running past.
No, well done, Frankston. How good would it be if they could outscore Richmond this quarter?
That'd be one of those small wins that Danny Ryan was talking about in round one.
Because they both kicked 2-2 last quarter, so they were even with them. I just had a look before, and Frankston play Northern Blues next week.
The Blues up and about in the first part of the season, but they'll be coming off a second bye, so who knows?
They did get a free kick there, Frank. That was Rich who was shoved in the back. They move it up towards half forward. Credlin turned it over. Mullane, he had a teammate, Kingsbury. Wilson, here they come, the Dolphins. Oh, Rich just turned back into traffic and didn't get his boot on it. The Tigers can move it through Morris. Morris's kick gone very wide and over the head of Thompson. Bounces out.
Rich seems to be moving okay. He's not 100%, but he's not hobbling anymore.
He was the man who copped that big knee right in the butt. What is it, Johnny? Buttock?
Buttock, as Forrest Gump used to say.
From Oleg Markov, right on the three-quarter time siren. That's the last thing you need, getting something like that right on the bell. Pumped away by Soldo. Townsend's over it. Might have got fallen in the back there. Play on to the umpire. Oh, it's going to come back here. to Brewer, who will get the free kick on centre wing. Brewer's going to play on here and go into the corridor. And he's got a man on here, and that's Silvestro. I'll move it to the outer side. Running for him was Caulfield. Now, Caulfield can run to 50, and he can set it up towards full forward. On a really good mark in there for the Tigers. I'm not too sure who that is.
He got up high for the chest mark, didn't he?
It's Charlie Thompson, who's done some nice things today.
He has done some very nice things, Charlie Thompson. We'll get his numbers off you after this kick, Kelvo. Charlie Thompson. They wouldn't be huge numbers, but he's certainly bobbed up from time to time and played some good footy.
So this only a slight angle here for Charlie, and only about 30 out or so.
He's kicked 1-1 today, which gives him 3-2 for the season in his fourth game.
For goal number 2, that looks all right. There's nothing wrong with that one. Straight through the big sticks. So Charlie Thompson has 2, and Richmond move to 15-8-98. Frankston 6-5-41.
Charlie Thompson just changed. 14 disposals, 2-1. He's kicked and 1 tackle.
Quite a serviceable performance, that, I would say.
Yep.
Geelong has just kicked 3 quick goals against North Melbourne to take a 10-point lead after trailing by 8. Blake Schlensog with a couple of those. So they're 11-5-71, the Cats. North Melbourne 9-7-61. Sandringham still holding a 7-point lead over Collingwood at the 12.5-minute mark of the last quarter, 7-8-50 to 6-7-43, a low-scoring game at Victoria Park. As the ball came back into play, one down by Tutupu, trying to work his way out of the contest. Credlin came off half-back and left the football behind. Weller picked it up, gave it off to Turner. He goes towards half-forward, bouncing ball. Great pick-up by Silvestro. Kicks inside forward 50. Gordon couldn't take the mark for Frankston. Max Williams left the footy behind. Thompson picked it up, kicked towards full forward. It's a one-on-one contest here. Chol battling hard for the football. Ball to ground level. Arts is there. Ballard is there. Chol somehow picks it up. Had an air swing as he was tackled. Chance for Street as well. He had it ripped away from him. Battling hard, both these teams. Jarnstrom stepped through traffic, got a hand pass away. Well done. Rendell with a beautiful kick. Max Williams can break for the Dolphins. Not a good kick. A bit of a fumble from Weller. He was up to the task. Not a good hand pass. Left behind by Brewer. Picked up now for the Tigers. Markov out the back. Handball back inboard to Brewer. Swings around onto the right boot. Kicks inside forward 50. Beautiful to Turner. Gave it off to Naish. Naish for goal number 4. Oh. Sensational football by Richmond. They just kept at it and kept at it. And Frankston, well, they battled hard, but in the end, the weight of numbers and the class told the story. And Patrick Naish has kicked 4. And Richmond have cracked the ton there, 16-8-104. Frankston 6-5-41, 11.5 gone final quarter.
Just this season, in Naish's improvement, he's also been able to get that touch of class now, and that was just a real classy goal. I'll be doing the votes after the game, and certainly he will be in the votes.
Western Australia 13-13-91, South Australia 16-3-99 with 7 minutes to go. So a big finish there. Clint Westall's all over that one for us. Obviously trying to cheer the Sandgropers home.
It's out beyond a 10-goal margin here at Skybus Stadium, 63 to be exact. Soldo palmed it away, Mullane, and it was Weller. It was Mullane who socketed it forward, and it went straight to Markov. Markov sent it up towards the middle of the ground and hit his teammate there. That was Coleman Jones, who was made to earn it. Picks himself back up off the deck. Coleman Jones, he's kicked it over the head of his teammate Credlin and into the waiting arms of Stiles. Just up the back of the square here, Angus Stiles. He's going to go up the middle of the ground. That's a nice spot-up kick to find Rendell. No question marks over that mark. Now inside 50, they've got a man out here. Bo Bailey, he's got Morris on his tail. That's not what you want. And Morris managed to take the ball out of the field of play and take Bo Bailey to ground.
Morris is one of those players now. He doesn't get a lot of stats, but his opponent will never beat him.
He's not going to beat him in that instance.
No, not at all. That's his bread and butter, Morris.
Plenty of experience, isn't there, Stevie Morris? At this level, good leadership too. One down by Tutupu, trying to work his way through Collier Dawkins. Tutupu won the football. Shot was smothered off the boot there of Bailey. Morris was gotten rid of without the football. He asks the question of the umpire. The umpire says, "Throw it in, please, Horshack." Had to get that one in. Love that hairdo. It's a great hairdo. It's a great hairdo. The full on throw is back. Ball back into play. One down by...
Oh, no.
I think it's going to be called back. Is it? No, a free kick. Is it a call back on the boundary throw-in? I think it is.
No, it's a free kick in the ruck. I think Frankston had two players that thought
Two in the ruck?
Yeah.
Again.
No, it's thrown. No, he's called the throw-in back. I'm certain he's called the throw-in back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because you put the boundary umpire off.
I certainly did, didn't I? So we've just got to wait for the footy to come back from the other end of the field. So the throw-in was a little bit wild, and Coleman Jones was able to take it and quite clearly get it through. So it will be thrown in again.
They've dodged a bullet there, Frankston, because they certainly had two players go to that ruck contest.
So, and neither of them got anywhere near it because it was a wild throw. Back into play, and this time it's one down by Rendell. Collier Dawkins wrapped up, got a hand pass away, Weller to Morris. Under the left boot, floats it up towards centre wing. Chol flies, couldn't take the mark. Slapped down by Townsend, couldn't get it out. Finally taken away by the Dolphins. That was by Lockie Williams. Kicks towards half forward. Mark was dropped by Wilson. That created a problem. Then he fumbled about 4 times. Got it off to Locke in time. Back to Ferreira. A little kick inboard that was clever from Aloisio Ferreira. And he finds Grace 48 metres out from goal.
He's a talent, Ferreira. I really like him.
I was just going to say Cody Wilson had a Jack Darling moment there, Jonty.
I don't think we've seen him fully fit, Aloisio Ferreira. Something about Jack Darling I can show you after we get off air. As the ball from Taylor Grace from right on the paint of 50 heads all the way to the goal line. Was there a little push on to Tupu? The goal umpire says one behind. There was a little bit of a nudge, but the umpire might not have been in the right position to see it. Behind to Taylor Grace, Frankston 6-6-42, Richmond 16-8-104 after 15 and a half minutes.
Igmalisi Smith will bring it in here with the short kick. To Tupu. Got his hand on it, then gave a handball to Turnbull. Turnbull found a teammate Wilson who copped it straight back up to Morris. Now Ben Miller's in all sorts of trouble. That's got to be holding the ball right in front of goal.
Good tackle.
So Tupu will get the chance to go back and kick a goal after all.
He was the one that spoiled it and came back in for the tackle. He deserves this goal.
And he got him football and all, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to move this one on quickly.
Wasting no
to
time.
Tupu,
Good boy.
and he pops it through.
Well
that was
done.
Clever. So Frankston get their 7th goal. They move to 7-6-48. They still trail Richmond big time here. Richmond 16-8-104.
Jonty, your thoughts on Shem Tutupu?
I like him.
I do.
Big, bustling, big man. He obviously spent a lot of time in the Hawthorn program as one of those New Zealand academy style of players alongside Kurt Heatherly. Heatherly got his chance at AFL level. Unfortunately, injury brought him undone. Tutupu didn't quite make it. He went back and played suburban footy last year for, I think, St Kilda City.
St Kilda City, yep.
He's come back into VFL level, bigger, stronger and more ready. Yep. And he's played some excellent football in all 3 Frankston games we've seen this year. Even that first one when they were towelled up by Essendon, he played well.
He's one of those big guys that, is still improving. He's 25 years old now. He's still got a lot to offer.
Out of the centre here is
too high. Yep.
Locke. He had his head over the football and was bumped high. Clint's disappointed. South Australia have beaten WA by 7 points as the ball from Locke goes to half forward. Markov, very strong, and he puts the knee right into the back of Ferreira, and that hurt. He's still on the ground, Aloisio, as it came out wide to Naish. Little hand pass over the top to Miller. Sizes it up and goes long down towards half forward. He's got to run really hard, Ballard, but it was judged better by Hiscock, who took the mark. Went short, taken there by Locke, who then left it behind. He has to go back and pick it up again. Goy Locke, he did. Little hand pass through from Rich. Clever play. It was clever play to get out of the contest, but not a clever kick from Rendell. It was the right idea, poor execution out of bounds. Rich was on his own out there and he just missed him. Around the grounds, Collingwood have taken the lead with 4 consecutive goals against Sandringham. 8-7-55 plays 7-9-51. And North Melbourne back in front against Geelong, 11-9-75 to 11-6-72.
And Mullane got the footy there, but his handball missed a teammate and ran out of bounds. And they'll get another boundary throw in on the half-forward line, Frankston.
Half-time in the AFL, Hawthorn 5-5-35 lead, GWS 4-4-28.
Got Soldo back into the ruck for the Tigers. He palmed it away, trying to come through there. Ballard then got his handball knocked down. Now Ferreira is onto it. Centre half back, he gave it to Locke. Now Jarnstrom, and they come through the middle. Here they go, the Dolphins. They're looking good here. Oh, that wasn't a good kick from Williams, but the Smothers come straight back to him. That was a better handball. Jarnstrom up towards wing and half forward. Good pick up on the volley there by Bailey, who spun onto the right boot and sent it inside 50, and that was a good kick. Hit up a teammate who's going to move it on quickly, and Wilson takes the mark, and Wilson will kick another one, will he? No. Missed the goal. He should have kicked, and he puts his head in his hands. He can't believe he's missed that one. Frankston one behind. They move to 7-8-50.
Taylor Grace heading to the bench in the hands of the trainers. Billy telling me that he's not rubbing them, he's counting them. So a little bit of a lower abdomen contact. Took Elvo a while to catch on. I winced as Miller goes short, very short, and finds Morris deep in the back pocket. 55 points the lead for Richmond as we head towards time on in the final quarter. Morris brings it to the outer side, going to ground in the front. Soldo with solid contact. It'll come out the back. Bang, got him. Great tackle, Aloisio Ferreira on Ballard, and that's not easy to do. Umpire said play on. Locke fed the hand pass out to Gordon. He kicks towards full forward to Tupou.
Too strong.
Just threw Ben Miller out of the way like a rag doll and took the mark 20 metres out straight in front, and Yilba Zijay is straight in his face about it as well.
Yep.
Great mark by Big Shem to Tupou. Just a show of strength, and it wasn't too early as the one earlier in the game was, and Shem's missed the goal. Tutupu kicks a point, and that's a letdown. And he's got 1-1 today. That's his first miss of the season, in fact.
That's the last two forays forward that should have resulted in goals for Frankston.
And they'd be winning this quarter if they'd kicked them. Frankston 7-8-50, Richmond 16-8-104. As a good spoil here from Woodman. He runs inside 50 and turns it over to Egmalesi Smith.
And he can move it quickly. It might be another turnover here. Newman couldn't win the footy. Big Soldo in there throwing his weight around. Markov come away with it. To the outer side. That's a good kick from Oleg Markov for Silvestro to run onto it. Silvestro will move it up that outer wing. Oh, and he's turned it over. Going and meeting it. I think that might have been Hiscock who kicked it over the head of ZJ. Bailey. He's kept it in there, Bailey. No, he hasn't. It's gone out of play just inside 50.
Just for that bit of play out the front of us here, guys. Weller said to Coleman Jones, I'm going to go for the mark, and Coleman Jones still contested, and Weller gave him a spray. Coleman Jones said something back, and they ran off.
A little bit going. They both ran off.
Yeah, they both
so they're still going on with it over there, are they? Or you're the only one that can see the Richmond bench?
Jarnstrom got a kick away there. Soldo off hands. Miller in the back line. And the goal scorer, I should say, waits for it. The other handballs come here to Weller. Now to Naish. Had a wonderful game, Naish. Now Morris bumped off the kick, and the ball's gone out of play and out on the full. Oh, and Morris is just throwing his weight around in there. That was Styles. And Newman in there, and we've got a bit of argy-bargy right in front of us here. The Newman has come in there for the Dolphins. Oh, listen to this. The crowd's getting revved up.
He's saying that's a free kick for a punch.
Yeah, he caught one across the chin.
So Morris will take the free kick after all of that shouting. Not very civil.
Plenty of that from this side of the fence as well.
Frankston supporter out here, not happy about that.
As Egmalesi Smith runs away and kicks it out to the outer wing. Good work. Naish moved it on quickly. Thompson now to Silvestro. Little chip short. Good mark taken there on the short play for the Tigers. That is Ballard, who brings it back inboard to Beasley. Beasley chips it across the wing and finds Miller. The big men are combining. Miller out wide to one of the little men. And that is Fletcher, who has the football right on centre wing after all of that. Goes short and wide in the hands of Collier Dawkins, who sizes up his options. Heads it long and wide, and it's a mark. And is it a 50? It's a really good mark and a solid contact after he marked it. And he's very, very sore boy. Had the wind knocked out of his sails there, the Richmond player Jake Arts. And he's none too happy with the Frankston man on the mark, Lockie Williams, who clattered into him. So Jake Arts, he's going to go with this. He thought about the Stevie J snap, and then Jake Ballard provided the option short, and it was an easy pass. So Ballard now has it. He's only about 5 metres shorter. 5 metres closer, I should say. 5 metres shorter. That'd make him pretty short if he's 5 metres shorter than Jake Arts. So Ballard from 25 metres out. Tightish angle kicks it across the face and through for his second behind of this final quarter. Richmond 16-9, 105. Frankston 7-8-50 at the 24-minute mark of the final quarter.
They brought it straight up the middle again here, and Tutupu, who's had a really good last quarter. Shim Tutupu takes the mark, moves it on quickly. Frankston move it up towards the half-forward line. Bailey had to go and earn that one. Now Kingsbury's on, and he's got Locke working for him hard.
Good running.
It's out in front of him. It'll bounce away from him. What a shocking bounce. It bounced away from Locke and straight into the arms of Caulfield. That's a good kick out of the back line too to find Naish. Naish will move it up the line. Coleman Jones had to go. Well done there for them. But again, it's sat up for Coleman Jones. Ballard, now he's got Scholl, centre half forward. Oh, this is going to hurt, this little bit of play here from the Tigers. Scholl just outside 50. Left foot kick. He'll set it up. Soldo's there. It's gone over his head and bounced through for a goal. I don't believe it. The bounce of the ball on that entire play favoured Richmond.
Yeah.
It's not been their day, has it, Frankston? Oh, my God.
Yeah, very unlucky. Did everything right down here. Locke ran onto it and it bounced sideways.
No, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So that's the Tigers' 17th goal. 17-9, 111. Frankston 7-8-50.
Charles third.
He's done his job in the end,
Done
hasn't
his
he?
job. Remember, there's no more, so he had to step up this week, and he certainly has.
Yeah, good job from he. As we see a final score coming in from the VFLW, and that is a victory, a big win for Melbourne University over Geelong, 12-5-77, beating the Cats 5-3-33 by 44 points in the season opener. As the umpire does toss it up so that 6-bounce rule is in effect. Soldo tries to pick it up at his bootlaces, can't do so. It's a long, long way down. Wilson, Fordham, Townsend thrown out of the contest. Good hand pass up from Naish to Weller. Brought it out to Street. Puts it in front of Fletcher. He goes by shorthand, and Collier Dawkins somehow got rid of it. Stolen away beautifully by Fordham. Handball back in board. The bounce favoured Frankston this time. Taken by Rendell and into the middle of the ground. Spoil laid. Soldo with a blind turn. Somehow the big fella got a little hand pass across. Here's a goal coming up for Jakey Arts. And he, well, what have they done to that? Coleman Jones will get the goal. On the goal line, he tried to take the mark, dropped it, almost made a meal of it, and it landed on his boot and went through for a goal.
Probably could have shepherded that through, I thought.
He definitely should have shepherded that through. But you're a full forward. As I was always told as a kid, you take the mark when you can.
Yep.
He dropped the mark. It would have been embarrassing if it hadn't have luckily fell onto his foot. There's been a fair bit of luck for Richmond today, but they have been the better team.
Yeah.
We're not saying that they don't deserve to win the game. That's for sure.
I think now in this last quarter too, it's that fitness thing I was talking about. When teams on their own just don't have that fitness that the AFL aligned teams do.
They've been much the better team this afternoon, and they will sit atop the pile tonight, Richmond, in the VFL.
Only undefeated team.
Yes. Ball back into the middle. Got someone playing a trumpet. How'd they get that in here? Brewer's going to go on and win the footy. Scrappy kick up towards the forward line. Nearly had his head taken off. That was Street again. Arts, good kick out towards the pocket. He's got a man there who had it punched away from him. And going on to win the footy there, that was Williams. Couldn't quite get the Tiger player in the tackle. It's come back to Silvestro. Now Street. Street will give it back to Silvestro, and from a standing start, Silvestro will spray it.
Back to the back line.
Across the face and through for a minor score. Takes Richmond to 18-10, 118. Frankston have moved it on quickly here to the outer side. Couldn't take the mark there. I think that was Rich. Get a ball in on the outer side, just outside 50 for Richmond.
Interesting stat here. Soldo's had 36 hit-outs.
How many against him?
Tutupu's had 13. Rendell's had 12.
So Soldo's ended up doing his job. And he's done it again there. Got it straight onto the running Silvestro. He doesn't quite repair the damage, but short is Collier Dawkins, who snaps across the face. Arts marks in the square.
There was another Richmond player running at him. I couldn't see who it was. I thought they were going to collide.
Jake Arts judged it best. I think Townsend it was who got out of the way.
It's a bit dark down that end of the ground now. It's a bit hard to see.
Well, we are looking through heavily tinted glass too, Elvo, which doesn't help.
No.
As the sun goes down and we head towards winter. Jake Arts has kicked 1 goal today back in the first quarter. Now he's got 2. The Tigers add another one to the score sheet and go along to 18 goals, 10, 118. Frankston 7-8-50 on the Casey Radio 97.7 scoreboard.
And with this win as well, as we said before, Richmond will be undefeated on top. Also, this is a huge percentage boost for them.
We said at three-quarter time, Johnny, that this could have gone one of 2 ways, and it's gone the first way that we spoke about, and that's Richmond running away with a big win here.
Yeah, no question about that. Well, it's still like 68 points. What was it at three-quarter time? 48. So they've gotten away. It's a solid performance, a very impressive victory for the Tigers, but plenty of positives out of this for Frankston.
74 points the margin at the
goal's
moment.
Just gone up. Yep. Robbo slowed down as the game's gone on.
Come on, Robbo. Well, big tackle here on Fordham, who eventually got rid of it, and then Soldo pile-driven Rendell. The young man, he'll remember that tackle, and we've got a free kick here going the Tigers' way after that. It's Morris in the middle of the ground, and he might send the Tigers back inside 50. A goal for the road. No, he's going to go short here. That's Caulfield. And there is the siren. So the Tigers do get...